one goes. Oh, that we just got slammed or doubled. Hi, y'all, good morning. That sun is getting ready to come up over there. Running a little behind today, so we got to get some baits down post haste right now. By gosh, I'm gonna put the camera in the chest and we're gonna do it. I got a bag of bait here. We're gonna start with a shad. That's a big old gizzard shad right there. We'll do a head and a chunk, but then I've got something in that bag, buddy, that we don't get all the time, but when I do, I usually do pretty good on it. I'm gonna show you here in just a second. We're gonna hold off on using it for now. I want the sun to come up a little bit so I can get a picture with it for daggone video purposes, but we're gonna put it to use today real soon. But let's get this bait on here first. This is a shad head. I'm gonna run this hook, and these are new hooks. I'm gonna tell you about these here in a little bit too, but I've got that on a Carolina rig. This one is actually a 3/0 size hook, 15-pound leader line, swivel, 2-ounce egg sinker, 15-pound braid, and a Catfish Sumo light action catfish rod. And we're fishing 18 feet deep right now, so if we hook into a monster, buddy, it's going to be a battle, because we're going to have just probably 15, 16 feet of line down here under us. We're fishing vertical today. Have these baits raised up just off the bottom right here in front of a creek, which I'll show you in just a second once we get this thing. Here, let me do this first. Let me cut that fin off right there and maybe get those two. And while we're at it, let's just give that one a trim. Give a little haircut out here today, folks. Give a little snip. We're doing some hairdressing on these baits. We'll do this. I'll show you where I'm setting up. We'll watch us a sunrise, and hopefully we're going to watch some rods go down today. I want to catch a big fish today, and I want to do it here in this relatively shallow water. I mean, you're talking 18 feet. That's not very deep, but it will be a whole lot of fun. So let me get my towel here. Me and you, we're going to leave this camera running today. We're going to bring you on a real fishing trip, by gosh. But look at that sun right fast. It's coming up over the trees over yonder. What a glorious sight that is. We've made it through another night, folks. We survived another day. And here we are to live to tell the tale. It's going to be a sunny day. We had a little bit of chilly night, and I'm hoping it's the last cold night of spring here. We're well into May, and it's like 49 degrees this morning, so got a little fog on the water. That sun will burn off quick. It's going to be like almost 80 degrees today, so it'll warm up fast. But yeah, y'all, awesome sight back there. It's going to be even more awesome if we see that and some big fish. Let me show you how we've set up. I'm right here in front of this creek. It's a relatively small creek. I'll show you what it looks like on the graph. But we're set up here. The way the river runs, which you won't be able to tell right now, but we're kind of on the bottom end of a river bend here. And you've got this small creek, small shallow creek that comes in. We're set here kind of just right above what would have been the creek mouth on the bottom drop of the ledge. So shallow section of river, 18 feet. But we do have just a smidge of flow this morning, so that'll get our scent going downstream. And any fish that are working up and down this ledge, or maybe moving in and out of this creek, they're going to be able to easily lock in on our baits and come get them. So my plan is, well, if I'm being real with you, this is the backup plan, folks. Let me get this bait here back in the, throw that tail out, get it back in the cooler right fast, and I'll tell you about the plan. But let me show you this here too while I'm thinking of it. Look what I got us. A little cast net surprise yesterday. Check that out. That's a sucker, man. Every time I get these suckers, I won't say every time, but most of the time, I nail a big fish on them things. But I need this. This is going to be part of the thumbnail for the video, folks. We're doing this YouTube crap. I want this fish to be front and center. So we need the sun to come up a little while so I can get a decent picture of it. And then we'll put it on. But I've been catching my big fish lately, I've been doing real well on shad. I've done better on shad than anything else. So that's a confidence bait that we've got down there right now. But I do really like those suckers. But anyway, we'll get back on topic here. I put in at a launch down here, about a mile downriver. And I had anticipated putting in there because the creek that I wanted to fish today, or at least I'd planned on fishing, was like right across the river channel from there. Real just fast move to go from the launch over there and get set up. And I tell you folks, it never fails. Let's turn around and see what that looks like now. I can feel the warmth on my face. That's an amazing sight, folks. But I get down there and it's a boat ramp, right? Well, there's a boat in the water that has launched and there's one waiting to launch. Well, the guy that's launched in the water, he's sitting right in front of the ramp with his power poles down, which is an amazing thing in itself, because I think that might be the first time I've ever seen a bass boat actually use them power poles. It's like a cool kid accessory. All the bass fishermen around here have them, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody actually use them. But this guy he had them down right in front of the damn ramp. So the boat in front of me couldn't launch because this guy wouldn't get the hell out of the way. So finally, a couple minutes, I guess this guy realizes he's got people waiting, and he pulls them poles up and moves, so the other guy launches, and then I'm able to launch after that. So it cost me a few minutes right there waiting on them, right? So I'm gonna turn this back around this way to watch the fishing poles now. Again, I'm just gonna leave this camera running for y'all to see everything today. I'm gonna fish for 3 or 4 hours probably, so we'll see what happens here. But I get kayak dropped off there at the water's edge. I go park my truck and I get in and start making my way across the channel because I'm gonna fish that creek, right? Well, I'll be damned, the boat that launched in front of me, guess where he's fishing at? Right there in that creek mouth. And it looks like they're live scoping, you know, they're not catfishing, but it looks like they're live scoping either crappie or bass or something. Like they're fishing out off of the drop, like casting up on toward the creek mouth or that point that comes off of it there, right? So I'm like, man, they could be there a while. And then I was kind of faced with a decision at that point. Like, do I wait them out and wait for them to move so I can go anchor right where they're sitting, which was my original plan. I was going to put in all our trip today right in front of that particular creek. I was like, I can do that, and God knows how long we'll wait, or I can just run 15 minutes upriver. And it ain't that far. I mean, we're talking like a mile, but still in the kayak, I mean, it takes about 15 minutes to get up here. And I can come up here and hit this creek. And so I hem-hawed for a little bit, and I was like, okay, let's just go. Let's make the run up here. So thankfully, we get up here, nobody's sitting here, so we can drop down. And it ain't like that creek down there that I was going to put us in. It ain't like it's anything particularly special. Oh, we got one on. He let it go. Boy, that didn't take long to get our first bite there, though, folks. He's back on it. Look right here. He's giving it a little tug. Listen, fish, we ain't got time for that nonsense. We want you to commit. That fish, he's toying with us now. We're like the woman that's been dating her boyfriend for 5 years waiting on commitment, you know. That's us up here waiting on that fish to... Oh, okay. I still don't think he's just tugging on it. That must be a small one. He's nipping at the bait, not getting the whole bait and hook. But that creek down there, like, it's nothing special. I mean, it's not like it's going to be any better or worse than any other creek up down through here. For more or less, I was just thinking convenience, like just use that launch and go right across the river. But those plans got thwarted, so I had to make a run up here, which got us setting up a little bit later than I had hoped, because I was hoping to already be set up before the sun popped up over the trees. Because my bite lately, and those of you that watch the videos regularly, you've seen it, like we've got a window from first light to 8:30ish, 9 o'clock in the morning, where we're catching fish. And then after that, it just kind of goes off a cliff with the bite. So I wanted to be set up and ready to roll out here this morning when that sun popped up, but here we are. It is what it is. This is that's how it goes sometimes. I'm filming this video on a Friday, so I would expect there to be more boat traffic, especially from the bass fishermen and stuff today. I don't know if we'll see any other catfishermen, but we'll probably see several bass boats. And it just so happens I picked a ramp that some other people had picked too, if I get my words out. But we'll make the most of it. This is a stretch of a river that is kind of shallow. It's and I was on a really good shallow water bite there for a while, and then I've been fishing a little deeper areas. So we'll see what's going on here. All we can do is put our baits down there and give it a little time and see what happens. If you're seeing this video, I got some good news for you. Fish are coming. I don't know how many. I don't know how big. But if you're watching this, it means something positive happened. I'm not posting a skunk video, especially one that's where the camera's just gonna roll for a few hours. So we'll soak this shad here for a little while, see what we get. We'll let the sun get up a little bit. I'll take my pictures that I need with that sucker. We'll cut it up, put it on, and hopefully reel in a monster today. And I'm telling you folks, with the lighter gear, fishing with 15 to 16 feet of line out, these takedowns are going to be incredible. Absolutely freaking incredible when they happen. And it won't take a big fish either for us to get some big takedowns. It won't. But boy, if we do hook a monster, it's going to be intense. And I'm here for it, buddy. I'm excited about it. I'm getting more woke up by the second here just thinking about it. But I do have new hooks on there. Those are they're the first run. Catfish Sumo is making some hooks specifically for the light tackle catfishing. Those are the first batch of samples. So we will see today how they do, and then I will report back to Catfish Sumo after I've used them for a couple weeks. We'll see how they do today, though, most importantly. If we catch a fish and break them or straighten them out, we'll know to call up Daniel there at Catfish Sumo and be like, hey, these hooks suck. But if they do well over the next couple weeks, then I'll call him up and be like, hey, these are great. They roll with it, man. And it's kind of the process I've talked about a little bit with these rods, too. These are prototype rods I've got here today, and we've been kind of tinkering with them a little bit, trying to get the action dialed in exactly how we want. And it's a process. It's a painfully slow process, too. It takes forever. You get a rod and you go and use it and try it out. You're like, okay, well, that's not how I wanted it. So you go back to the drawing board, make another one, and you have to keep making them tweaks until you get it dialed in. And it's kind of the same thing with the hooks. So those hooks there, they're like a kale style. They're very, very similar to the design to the shiner hooks that I've been using. These are just a little bit bigger. These are a 3/0 size. The ones I've been using, for the most part, have been number 1s. I've played around with sizes a little bit. Really and truly, if you're a catfisherman worth a damn, and I'm certainly not, but if you're somebody that's a little bit more conscientious about things, you want to match the size of your hook to whatever size of the bait you're using. That's the smart thing to do. Now me, I'm kind of lazy. I want a one-stop shop type thing. Whatever I got tied on, that's what I'm going to use, and I don't want to have a lot of options. I don't want to have to think about it. I just want to do. I just want to do. That's the best thing I can say. So, like on my heavy gear, I'd kind of settled in on the 10/0 size mustad fine wire Demon Circle hooks. And I would roll with those hooks no matter what size of bait I was using. If I was using a big bait, I use them. If I use small bait, I use them. Like, I wasn't switching that out. And it's kind of been the same thing when I'm doing the light tackle. I've kind of settled in on that #1 size, and so that's what I have been using, regardless of size of the bait. And so that's probably what I'll do once everything gets, I mean, Catfish Sumo will offer multiple sizes of these hooks, but I'll probably stick with them #1s because I like them. I've developed some confidence in them over the last few months. And right here, look right here. We got a little something. I don't know what those are, but it's a little something right there on the screen. It gives me a little hope there, folks. Gives me some hope. I like having hope. Hope is good for everybody. But yeah, we will put these hooks through the paces over the next couple weeks, and getting through the first few fish is the most important thing. What I hate to have happen, and this would be terrible, I mean, it could happen, and it's part of the process. But like I've told Catfish Sumo there, I'm like, look, I can't be a field tester. Like a lot of companies have people on they're not necessarily staff per se, but they'll have like people they're affiliated with, other fishermen. They might have a discount code or something like that. Maybe they're pro staff for the company, but they will be field staff, like people who test products. So if a company comes out with a new rod, a new hook, a new kayak, whatever, pick the product. The field staff people will get that product first before it hits production, and they'll take it out and use it, give feedback to the company. That company will make whatever tweaks or changes, and then when the product is launched and when it's visible to the public, it's hopefully anyway dialed in, like all the kinks are worked out, all the bugs are worked out, and the general public, when they see that product, they are seeing the finished product that's ready to purchase. Well, I mean, I'm doing this YouTube crap, man. Like, I can't just take trips to just go fishing. Like, I need to be filming. So ideally, all this stuff would be done off camera. So if the first fish we hook on one of these hooks breaks it or straightens the thing out, because maybe there's a quality problem, who the hell knows at this point, you really wouldn't want to film that. I mean, I think most rational, sensible people would be like, look, this is a prototype hook here. It may not be perfect on the first batch. Like, there may be some changes that need to be made. Most rational people would understand that. But the world ain't rational. What would happen is, if we straighten one of these damn things out, everybody's going to hit the social media. Oh, I saw that Kayak Catfish guy. He had one of them damn Catfish Sumo hooks and straightened the thing out on a fish. Like, you know that's coming if something bad goes wrong. Same thing with these rods. I was talking about that when I first got the first prototype there I was using on video. I was like, man, if we snap this thing in half, and thankfully that didn't happen, but I'm like, if we do, boy, that's a big setback for the company. And I've told them that. I've told them there at Catfish Sumo that. I'm like, look, something could go wrong, especially if I'm doing an unedited video like this where the camera's rolling and you're going to see, no matter what happens, like, you're going to see it. We're not cutting this stuff out. If I flip this kayak, if I fall and bust my ass, you're going to see it. That's the thing about an uncut, unedited video, is you get to see it all. The good stuff, the bad stuff, everything in between. This ain't a highlight clip here. And because of that, like, I can't hide things that may not be good for the PR of the company, if you will. But they're understanding of that, and they're cool with it. And so we roll with it, man. Whatever happens, happens. Hopefully it goes well. I wouldn't think those hooks would break, but they felt pretty good. Just me bending them there at the house, and I tied up the leaders and stuff. I'm like, I'm twisting them a little bit, whatnot. And they feel pretty good. They at least just the touch. I don't see any design flaws or structural or anything with the structural integrity. I don't see any flaws in that yet. But the only way to test it for sure is to get it inside a fish's mouth and play tug of war, which is what we're going to try to do today. So we'll see how that goes. Still tinkering with the rods. I still think the one on the left is the one I've been using the longest. It's too heavy for sure. The one on the right is a smidge lighter than the one on the left, but it's still... I'm back and forth on this. I had a long conversation the other day with Daniel, who's the owner of Catfish Sumo there, about it. And here's what I'm conflicted on. I with these light tackle rods, I want a rod that is going to make a 2-pound catfish, let's say, just a dink, the size of the one that was tugging on our bait there first thing. I want that fish to be able to put a bend in the rod, be able to enjoy those fish, right? One of the things I love about when I go ultralight fishing, just throwing gulp minnows or worms or whatever for anything that'll bite, bluegill, white bass, yellow bass, largemouth, whatever will bite. One of the things I love about that is because you're using an ultralight rod, everything puts a huge bend in it. I mean, a 6-inch bluegill will have that thing doubled over, and it's a blast. It's fun, and I want to bring that to catfishing, or bring it to my catfishing anyway. But here's the thing. It's like you can't just make a rod that's going to be great for a 2-pound catfish because there's so much variance in the size you're going to catch. Right? Like we might catch a 2-pounder today. We might catch an 80-pounder today. Well, if we hook up to that 80-pounder, I do need a little backbone. You don't want the rod bent all the way down to the handle. So you need a rod that is sufficient for those big fish while still making the small fish super fun. And so I've been back and forth. I'm like, well, do we need to go lighter on this? Because, you know, this rod here, I recently hooked into I don't even know. I mean, truth be told, it probably didn't weigh that much. I never weigh fish anyway, but like it was strong. And regular viewers, you saw it. It was a 43-minute fight for me from hooking that fish to getting it up in the kayak. It was like 43 minutes. And in that situation, man, I was thankful to have a little bit more backbone in the rod. But that ain't the norm. Like, you're not going to hook a fish. Well, at least I don't anyway. I don't hook fish like that every day. So I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. Really how much lighter we need to go. The other rods I'd played with was the Ugly Stick inshore rods. And those were, I mean, honestly, they're a little too flimsy. So, I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. I'd like to see what the next iteration of this that the factory comes with and let me try it and see. You know, we want to get this out, but like I've told you all so many times, like when it comes out, I want it to be right. That's important. Like I don't want... I want it to be something that's dialed in. So only way to know that for sure is just to keep working through it, keep making the changes, and eventually I'll pick it up, we'll reel in a fish, and I'll be like, that's the one. And the fact that I wasn't like that right away with this rod, like, well, maybe it ain't. I immediately, after starting using it rod, I'm like, okay, I still think it's a little too heavy. But then you hook into that big one, and boy, I kind of appreciate that in that moment. I mean, they're still way lighter than what you would normally see me use, like my Golly Whopper rod there, my heavier action rod. Like, these are way lighter than that. But still, it's not been right yet. We'll get it there. Same with the hooks. Like, when all this is said and done, there'll be a whole line of stuff for those of you out there that are maybe interested in light tackle catfishing. If any of you are, I don't know. I mean, there's a few people that's shown interest, certainly on my social media, and I know Catfish Sumo's, they've gotten some emails from people wanting more information. They've seen them on the videos and stuff, and they've wanted more information of when they're coming out and all that. So there's not zero interest in it, but how much overall interest, I don't know. That's one of those things you can't really gauge without having a product come to market. So kind of a big gamble for Catfish Sumo. I told that story, I think it's a few weeks ago. I was talking about how they've taken a chance on me a few times now with things I have recommended that they make. And like my Signature Series rod, of course, that was a home run. They sold a bunch of those, and I love that rod. When I'm using my heavier gear, like it's perfect for what I'm doing in those situations. But they done well on that. And my friend Dewey had put me on them stinger flies a few years ago. And he was hand tying them, and he'd give me some that he was hand tying. So I went to Catfish Sumo again. I'm like, look, catching fish on these things, these are great, but you can't depend on people hand tying them for you. Like, they need something commercially available for people. So they had some flies made, and those, again, home run, sold a bunch of them. But there's been some other things I've recommended. That's, I ain't gonna go into great detail because I talked about it in whatever that other video was there, but I don't want to do a rerun here for regular viewers. But there was a really dumb idea I had for a Catfish Tenkara rod, where it's basically you just tie your line to the end of the rod. There's no reel. And it would be a whole lot of fun. But at the time I was seeing all these videos in my algorithm on social media there. Every time I'd get on, it didn't matter what platform I was on, I would see it. And it would be these little Asian women, not hardly wearing any clothes, and they would be out there with basically a bamboo rod. And they would snatch these fish out of the water with it. And I was like, boy, that would actually be fun if we could do that with catfish. And I sold Catfish Sumo on the idea, and then I guess I got out of that particular algorithm. They stopped showing me the videos, and then by the time the rods were made, I'm like, yeah, this ain't really something I want to fool with. And then, it just never, it was a total waste of Catfish Sumo's money, basically. And then the other thing was the live scope jigs. When I'd gotten into live scoping catfish there a few winters ago, right after I got to live scope, I thought I was going to be able to do that bite year round. Like, I thought that was going to be the next big thing in catfishing. And we get out of winter, I couldn't replicate that bite anymore, and then I just kind of lost interest in it. Well, meanwhile, in that time period where it was going good, I had talked them into making those jigs for me, and then I ended up not hardly using them at all. And it was another thing that was kind of a dud. So it's kind of a toss-up with me of whether or not they're going to get a return on their investment. So they've put a lot of time and expense into making these rods for me, and I want it to be worthwhile for them. So hopefully it will be when it's said and done. Hopefully it'll be something that you all will like, and I know I will like it. But when it's, because I mean, I'm honestly, I'm liking these. I don't hate, that's why I told Catfish Club, like, I don't hate these rods. They're just not, they're not perfect yet. So, yeah. But when we were doing the Golly Whopper rod, like, I was able to do more stuff off camera back then. Now I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. Like, if I'm on the water, unless it's just a quick bait run, I'm filming. So I can't give these things the proper amount of time without featuring them on video. And there's some, you know, you just have to take the negative that goes with that. If we have a problem, people see it, it could impact sales. Thankfully, we haven't had a problem yet, but I mean, potential's always there. The other thing that I think most people probably would find annoying, I certainly do, when companies do this, is you get shown a product and you're like, well, I would like to have that, and it ain't available. Like, I hate it when companies do these teaser things. Like, they'll talk about, oh, we've got this new kayak coming out, and they'll show you like a little video clip or just a picture of the front of it or the back of it or something. And it's like, coming soon. Or it'll be release date is 30 days away, 3 months away, whatever. Like, I hate that. Like, if I see something I want it now. So just tell me when it's ready. Don't get me all excited for something that I can't have now. I mean, it reminds me of back when I was younger. I'd go to the nudie bars and stuff, right? Telling on myself a little bit here. But I used to, you know, when I was 18, 19, 20 years old, you know, just a young buck back in those days. At this age now, I'm more of an old stud horse. But when I was a young stallion, I used to go to the gentlemen's clubs. Me and my friends, we'd get paid on Friday, and Friday night we'd be over there. There's a old rundown gentlemen's club it was BYOB back in those days. So you could be 18 and get in, since it wasn't a bar per se. They'd just, if somebody wanted alcohol in there, they had to pay a fee at the door, and they'd bring their own in. And anyway, you could get in there being 18. And so me and my friends, we'd get paid on Friday, and we'd go to the gentleman's club, and them girls in there would get you all riled up, and then you go home because you couldn't do anything with them. Well, you probably could have, but on our budgets, yeah, you know what I mean. But it was kind of the same thing when you see these companies and they'll talk about a product, something's coming out, it's releasing soon, but you can't have it. It's like you get all the excitement and the hype, but then you have a letdown because you can't actually get the product. And I think we're probably having some of that with, well, at least, I don't know how many of you's out there, but for those of you who do want these things and you can't get them right now, I'm sure it's frustrating. I'm sure it is, because it is to me. I mean, it's hell. I mean, hell, even I have these prototypes that I'm using today, but it's frustrating to me that I don't have the finished product in my hands. I am an impatient person when it comes to stuff like that. I can sit out here and wait on a fish to bite all day and have patience to wait out long periods without action. But when it comes to something like a physical product that I want, well, I want it. I want it now. So it's frustrating, man. It is incredibly frustrating, and I get it. So for those of you out there that are maybe feeling that right now, just understand and know I get you. I do. I can relate. I just can't speed up the process, unfortunately. It's kind of out of my control. I don't build rods. It's not my skill set. And I mean, honestly, you couldn't, even if I did, it wouldn't matter. Like I could get if you went to a rod builder, here's the thing, let's say you know somebody who builds rods or does custom rods, things like that. They probably do great work. And it'd be a great quality rod, get it dialed in exactly how I would want in a very short time. But you got two issues. First off, if you're going to a local individual, like custom rod builder, you're not just paying for materials, you are paying for their time and their expertise, which means you're going to pay out the ass. Custom rods are always super expensive. The other issue you run into is that individual rod builder person, they're limited on their manufacturing capacity, I guess would be how you describe it. Like they could make me a set of rods probably in a weekend, very quickly. But they can't make them at scale. Like a company like Catfish Sumo, like they need a few thousand and order a few thousand at a time. So you have to be able to. You need a manufacturer for that, a company that's what they do is build fishing rods. And so because of that, then once the rod is finished, like the final design is locked in, well, the manufacturing part's very quick. That process is fast. But when you're working, oh, we got thumped. There it goes. There it goes. He slammed it, buddy. Now he's going that way. Oh, here we go. He's going to run now. I wasn't looking that way. My eyes was going the other way, but I felt kabomp. Yeah, buddy. 18 feet of water, I'm telling you, y'all, when we get bit today, it's going to be fun. This one right here is already fun, and I don't think he's going to be all that big, but I mean, with this gear and this short a line distance from the depth, like everything's going to be super intense today. Everything. And this fish has been so courteous. He's ran away from our anchor rope. This fish is really, y'all have had to talk with these fish about not getting to my anchor rope, and it's paying off. Your hard work they've listened. They've looked at your PowerPoint presentation. They've said, okay, we need to go the opposite direction of wherever Justin's anchored at, and what do you know? It's paying off. Boy, he's strong. He's a strong fish. I still don't have a good gauge of how big he is. I don't think he's going to be I'd say a fun sizer. But with the lighter gear, it's just really hard to gauge how big exactly they are. Yeah, okay, he's bigger than I thought. I saw his tail just then. He is bigger than I thought. This one ate the body piece of the shad. Yeah, all right. Number one, how far are we into the trip? Well, we're pretty good ways into it here. We've had baits down there a while. That's how it goes. Sometimes the bite's on instantly, and sometimes you wait a while. Get your net over here. One of y'all net this thing for me? Of course not. I'll do it my dang self. Let's get it set there and get it. Hold on, we got, okay, there it went. I had a bug on the camera. Everybody's trying to get on this show, even the bugs. Come over here, fish. You want to get in this net? He says he don't want to do nothing. He don't want to do nothing but pull on that line. So far, so good with the hook. Ain't pulled out yet. Let's see what it looks like when we get it up here and get it out of this thing. The smaller hooks that I've been using, I've not had any issues as far as a fish bending them or breaking them, but I have broke a couple with the pliers while I'm getting them out of fish. It's kind of one of the reasons why I've been using a net too with this lighter gear. I use the net because I don't want to grab that leader line. All right. Well, I thought we was gonna net this thing, and he's thought better of it. Come back up here, fish. Come back up here. He's going back down, buddy. He ain't done. This is a strong one. I knew when he hit it though, like I didn't. I was looking over the other direction, but I felt it instantly. I mean, I felt him hit it, slam it. I know what this fish wants to do. He wants to turn us around into the sun so he can get a good picture in the light. This is I mean, he's a very smart fish. He knew to stay out of the anchor rope, and now he knows how to take a proper picture. Unfortunately for him, by the time we get him landed and unhooked, the current's gonna swing us back around. So he's just not gonna get a picture with proper lighting. That's a good one, man. He's bigger than I thought. He's significantly bigger than I thought. Way bigger than I thought. I think he got bigger. I think he got bigger once he's actually in the net here. Boy, check this out, y'all. That's a solid fish. Let's set our camera mount up here. Now, okay, good. He got hooked right here. Right here in the top corner. Well, all right then. Let's take the pliers to this thing and see how it does. Let's see what it looks like. Still good. Hook point's still good. All right. First fish on the new hooks. Everything went smoothly so far. Let me set y'all up here. How's that camera angle up there? Boy, we got the sun directly behind us. I'm sorry, fish. You ain't gonna get much of a picture today. That's how it goes, fish. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Let me see if I can at least block the sun with my head there. That's a nice fish nonetheless. That was a fun fight. I love it when they end up being bigger than what I thought they were going to be. All right, buddy. That was a bigger splash than it should have been, I feel like. He wanted to do cannonball into the pool, I guess. All right, let's get that back out of the way. Let's lose the net. I'll tell you what, let's do. Because I can't help myself, here's what we're gonna do. That was our body section. I'm gonna take this sucker. I'd like to get, gosh, I really want a thumbnail. Like, let's use shad one more time. Let's let the sun get up just a smidge more so I can get me a decent picture, man. I'd like to put it on, but at the same time too, I know we can catch fish on the shad, and I just can't. The lighting right now just ain't ideal. That's the crap about being this YouTube stuff, you know? It's like, you have to think about, who cares about making a video if nobody's gonna click on it? And you need a good thumbnail. And them ones with the sucker seem to do well for me. So I wanna make sure I get a picture of it. I thought maybe we'd just cut it and I would do the thumbnail with just the head. But hell, it'd be nice to have one of the head and one of the whole thing, give myself options, or give myself an extra thumbnail for the future, you know. Sometimes I'll do that on sunny days. If I have multiple baits, I'll stockpile some thumbnails, make several of them on days with good lighting, because a lot of times you go out, here's that bait there, a lot of days you go out and you fish, you don't have good lighting. And it's hard to do that kind of crap. I know you all don't care about it, but you all, that's the kind of stuff you hear about on these trips. You come fishing with me. All right, let's set that back down there. Push my hand off. Oh, you look here. You see that? You know what that is? If me and you do any gambling today, I got me a, well, I can't call it a shiny nickel, but it's a dull nickel that we can gamble with today. Set that back up there. Found that at the boat ramp. Today ain't a complete loss, folks. We got somebody else's nickel. They threw it out right there at the ramp. It must be nice having so much money you can just throw it away, just throw it in the water right there at the boat ramp. That's one of them things I never understood. When I was a kid, when we'd go to a shopping mall up in Knoxville, there was a shopping mall called Westtown Mall. And well, I say was, like it's gone. It's still there. I just don't think anybody goes to malls anymore. Last time I was at the mall, I'm trying to think when it was. Is whenever I had a problem with my phone, I had to go to the Apple store. But that's been a long time. And they kept my phone. They had to work on it. And so I went shopping. Well, I went walking around in the mall when they were working on it. And I was bored, and I stopped at one of them little kiosks in the middle because they were doing some giveaway thing. And so I filled out the person working there flagged me down, wanted me to fill out that thing, win a free prize, which is stupid because I never win those kind of things. But it was an older woman. And I mean, she was, significantly older than me. I remember we got to somehow talking while I was filling out that card about Tennessee football. So I'm a Tennessee football fan, and she was apparently a big fan too. And she was telling me about her season tickets and yada, yada, yada. And I was done filling out my thing and getting ready to walk away, and she ended up asking me out on a date. She's going to take me to a football game. And I politely declined, of course, because, this woman was 20 years older than me, probably. No, not that there's anything wrong with older women, but I was with my girlfriend at the time. She's now my wife now, but, girlfriend at the time, and course, even if I had been single, I wouldn't have been interested in this woman. Not that I'm discriminating against age, but like, you know, there is a cutoff. And yeah, I think that was the last time I went to the mall. I ain't been to the mall in forever. But anyway, circling back to how I got on this crap to begin with. When I was a kid, we'd go to the mall, and it was fun as a kid because you could get you a cookie there at one of them cookie shops, and you go back then they had toy stores in the mall, KB Toys, and you go in there and do a little shopping, go to the toy store and all that. But there was a big fountain. I don't know if it's still there or not, but there would be a water fountain in the middle of the mall, and you'd have a bridge. You would walk up over the fountain, and you'd look down into it, and in the water there would be all this pocket change. I mean, everything. Pennies, quarters, nickels, dimes, all of it just down there at the bottom of this pond in the middle of the mall. And I never understood, even as a kid, I didn't understand. I'm like, why are people throwing their money in there? And it was supposed to be like, you make a wish, and then you throw your quarter or whatever in the pond there, in the fountain. And I'm like, well, I wish I could drain this pond and get all that free money that's just sitting there. Like, who gets that money? Who gets that? The person that cleans the pond or the fountain? Like, that's a hell of a business operation they're running there. People just walk by and throw money. They don't expect any good or service in return. Just make a wish that'll never come true. Like, I never, even as a small child, I never understood why people just threw money away. And then I'm getting in the kayak there at the launch, and I'm like, oh, it's a nickel right there at the water. So we got us a new nickel today. I'll take that thing with us when we leave. We'll leave it out there now, though, maybe bring us some luck. What is that behind me? It's been a bird. We got this island. It's a little small island here on the entrance to this creek. I think there's a bird or something on it. Making noises over there. Yeah, that's one of them things, though, man. Like, and maybe it's just because I'm cheap. And I ain't as cheap as I used to be. I've gotten better at it. You know, when I was broke, when I was younger, and just in a ton of debt and stuff, I was hell bent on getting out, paying everything off. And man, I wasn't spending money on nothing. Eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day. And started hanging my clothes up to dry instead of using the clothes dryer because I didn't want to burn the extra electricity. Wouldn't turn my air conditioner on until June, no matter how hot it was in April or May. Like, I mean, I was pinching pennies everywhere I could. And it's kind of carried over, even though I got out of debt and I ain't broke no more. Like, it's still that mindset carried over. And I've gotten a little bit better at it. I splurge sometimes. I've, of course, been reliving my childhood buying action figures. I've been really into the WWE Superstars line, which I've talked to you all a lot about. And then now they've been doing the LJN figures. And I've gotten into those too. And so splurging, wasting money, whatever you want to call it, on stuff like that. Wrestling came to town recently, Monday Night Raw, and so I'd got some tickets. Me and my wife went up there and watched the show. It was pretty good. So little stuff like that, but to just throw money away at a boat ramp or in a fountain at the mall, heck no, I would never do that. There's a lot of things I'll throw money away on, but it ain't for making a wish at the shopping mall. And I'm honestly surprised that shopping mall's still even in business up there. I mean, I don't know what the appeal is, because, well, I mean, when I was a kid, like if you wanted to go to a place that had every kind of store imaginable, like you had to go to the mall. But now there's just all kinds of shopping centers. Like even if you want to go view the products in person, like there's all kinds of shopping centers everywhere. And nowadays with the internet, I mean, when I was a kid, there was long before the internet, I'm telling my age here, but with the internet now, you can see everything online. Like I don't do much in-person shopping unless I'm looking for a wrestling figure at Walmart or Target, or just getting groceries. Like I don't really go shopping. I don't go to stores. I don't really buy clothes. I mean, I guess if you're a woman maybe and you're buying clothes or something, you probably want to go try them on. But hell, my wife, I mean, hell, she buys a ton of clothes and she don't go to stores. She just orders everything, and then when it shows up and don't fit, she sends it back. I swear we got packages coming to the house pretty regularly, just clothes. She'll try it on, it don't fit, so she'll exchange it for a different size or whatever. But otherwise, like I don't really know the appeal of a shopping mall today. I don't even know what stores are up there, and I don't think it's I don't think it's as profitable for them as it used to be back before internet days and before all the other shopping. Because like in Knoxville, and Knoxville's gotten a lot. Oh, our head just got thumped. Well, I thought the way he thumped it, it was going to be a good fish, but then he just kind of done that. Well, it may still end up being a good fish. It was an odd bite, wasn't it? He thumped it, and then it was just, the rod was kind of quivering there. And now he's going to make a run. This was a very interesting bite. I don't know what to think about this fish yet. I don't know what to think about it, but I'm here for it. What's this? Okay, we're almost at the hour mark we've been filming, so two fish, 3 bites in the first hour. It's not started out super explosive on the bite. Like, I mean, we've had some days on recent trips where there's been a flurry of activity right at sunrise, and then it peters out. Today we ain't had that flurry, but the fish we landed was a doozy, and this one here, it's a blue. He's rolling. That gyration there was him rolling, and it felt like some pretty big rolls. That's a pretty good fish. Is he hooked? The line's around his tail. Is he hooked in the tail or the mouth? I think maybe he just was wrapped up in the line. That's a good fish. So, limited bites so far. 2 fish here in the first hour, but both of them are doozies, man. Quality over quantity so far. And I'm all right with that. That's how it goes fishing sometimes, man. Sometimes you get a bunch of small fish and no big ones. Sometimes you might get 1 or 2 big ones and nothing else. Some days you don't get a daggone thing. Every day you just don't know. You just don't know what the day's gonna hold for you. Oh, man, when he hit it though, I immediately, like, it's almost like he just engulfed it, just inhaled that thing. And you feel that slam on the rod tip, and it's not the fish just kaboom, it's just him flaring them gills and sucking that thing in. He's gonna stay down a little bit now. We're just gonna tire him out here, play him out a little bit, and we're gonna put that sucker on next. I can't contain myself, folks. Even if I can't get a damn thumbnail, we're gonna roll with it. I wanna get that sucker on. The bubbles from that fish is coming up right over there. I see them there. Current's taking them downstream a little bit. It's nice we have a little flow for once. We ain't been having much flow in the mornings. We ain't had hardly any rain. Oh, fish. I want to get a hold of you, lay hands on you. It'll be another situation. We can't get a decent picture. If we hook into a real golly whopper today, I'll spin us around into the light to be able to get a good picture. But this one here, he's going to get the same fate as his friend. Like, we'll hold him up for the camera, but the lighting's just going to have to suck. We get him over here a little closer. Oh, there that one goes. Oh, that we just got slammed. We're doubled. We're doubled. Can I set this one back in the rod holder a second? Oh man, he got slammed. We're doubled. One of y'all help me out. Come through the screen, would you? Come through the screen, grab one of these rods. I'm gonna tighten just a little bit on that. One of y'all help a boy out. I need you to either do some netting or do some reeling, one of the two. Netting or reeling, you take your pick, I don't care, but help boy out. Oh, boy, this is fun. This is fun. We're doubled up here, 18 feet of water. Business just picked up, folks. We got some fish working through, either into this creek or just at this point in the ledge. I don't want these two fish to get wrapped up with each other, though. That would be no good. Boy, this is another good one right here. He hasn't fought as hard or as long, but this is another good fish. I'm wondering, if we got this one up here, should we go ahead and just land him right fast? I don't want them getting wrapped up with each other. Let's just go ahead and see if we can get this one in the net. That's a good one. Yeah, we got him. He was fast. Like, he's a good fish, but he didn't fight nearly as hard as the other two. He come on up and calmed it down. All right. Well, let's get this hook out and we'll hold you up real fast and then land your friend right here. You burping, you nasty. Have a little manners and say, excuse me there, fish. Got women and children possibly watching. You setting a bad example here. Yeah, I'm talking to you, fish. Okay, y'all. Let me get that. We'll hold him up. There he is. Oh, he's wanting to flop. He's wanting to flop. Get on out of here. Go on now. I can feel him wanting to flop. Here's what let's do. Before we land this other one, let me just put this net. I've got this other shad head. I've got this other head sitting here from where we cut the other body piece. Let's go ahead and just drop it down real fast to get another bait down there in case they've got some friends with them. That way we can maybe take advantage and catch another one while we land this one. Oh, that was awesome. Doubled up, man. I was just saying, well, it's been kind of a slow bite this far, and then boom, that happens. Like, it could happen at any time. You just never freaking know, man. You just find yourself in the right place when fish work through, and every rod you got out can go down. Let's get this one up here. This one's gonna be bigger than that last one. And that last one wasn't a bad fish. I'll take them like that anytime. But this one here is gonna be significantly better. Get that net over here ready, folks. We get him up here, I want you to snatch him. Maybe another second or two. He was sitting there all calm while we played with his friend, but now that it's his turn again, he's like, I'm gonna show out a little more. Yeah, look at this thing. Look at this thing right here. Look at this fella right here now. Oh, well, you can look at him in a second. We get him back up here. Get in that net. We got him. Oh, buddy, we got him. Oh, golly bum. Y'all, this one right here has got some belly on it, man. Whoo! Here, I need to do something with this rod. I'm gonna knock it out the rod holder. I ain't careful. Oh my gosh, y'all. All right, let's see how this hook done. I can get hold of this fish. Be careful, I don't want to stick myself with that hook either. Let me see if I can find you. Boy, we need use the dang fat fish. I can't hardly turn you around. There you go. Where's that hook? Oh boy, I about stuck. You see that? The way that hook was in there, I about put my thumb right in it. I gotta be careful of this hook. This right here would be one of them situations, the way it's hooked in that, right around that jawbone right there. This would be one of them situations, if I ain't careful, I'm gonna break the hook with the pliers getting it out. There we go. Let's take a look at this thing real fast. Oh, that hook looks good too. All right, man. You know, I think I would like to have a decent picture with this thing. Will you all bear with me a second here while I'll just use my little electric motor here to spin us around into the sun. Get some better, or try to anyway, get some better lighting. Okay. No, don't do it, fish. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Calm it down, fish. Let me hold you up before the kayak spins back around. Man, check out the belly on it. Y'all, that makes me happy. All right. We're cooking with Crisco now. See ya, buddy. I'll fist pump it. By gosh, I'll fist pump all three of them. Whew. All right, man, our day's made. We've gotten 3 excellent fish, but we ain't done. Not by a long shot. Okay. Well, gotta wipe snot out of my nose first. Here's what let's do. I want to put that sucker on. The sun's getting up a little bit here. I'm gonna try to take my other camera. We'll do the stupid thumbnails you all don't give a crap about. We'll drop down a piece of that sucker. We've got our shad head over here on this rod, and then we'll see what that sucker does. The fact we've got the quality of fish we have, though, now we're gonna put down a little bit bigger bait with the sucker, which I've had historically good success with. Yeah, I'm excited, folks. Let me just bust out the other camera here. I've ordered, and by the way, remind me to tell you about it, I've ordered a new camera. So hopefully we'll be able to do everything on one camera here and not have to bust out one camera to film with and one to do thumbnails with. It's frustrating having to go back and forth between the two. I'd like to have one thing that can do it all, but you can, the old saying, you can wish in one hand and doo-doo in the other, see which one fills up first. Like, I've been wishing for it forever. Can't get it, but hopefully this next one that's coming out will be the real deal here. Okay. Bear with me a second, folks. Let me just do something with this. Get all that slime off there. Okay. All right, let me just hold this up here in the light a second. Let me spin around this way. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect right there. Can I go? Nope, that'll put me in the shadow. Okay. Okay. Got that done. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. We've got that. We've got the head bait. What would y'all turn that way for? We've got the head bait over here. I'm gonna do a chunk of this. And then I will do, when we go to use the head, then I'll do another picture with just the head bait. The lighting will be, by the time we do reel in the next fish, the lighting will be better then too. The sun will be a little bit higher. We'll get one of just the head. In the meantime, while I'm cutting this bait up, y'all just admire my hat there. Kayak Catfish hat available, catfishsumo.com. For the three of you out there that might want an autographed version of the hat, they're available on there too. Discount code KAYAK will get you 10% off your order. I never mentioned the dang discount code. I should do that more often. I always forget to do that. Can't remember the last time I mentioned a discount code. But anyway, we'll get this bait on. We're gonna put a big chunk of it on. Okay, this is gonna be the ticket right here, man. We're gonna, oh buddy, I'm getting a little excited about it. We've had some good fish this morning. Or now I got my line wrapped around the rod. What the hell have we done here, folks? There it is. How'd y'all get the sinker and hook through the, I don't know how y'all do. I think y'all sabotage me on purpose to make me look stupid when the camera's rolling. Every time I'm doing these unedited videos, something silly like that happens. Okay. Here we got it. We got our big hunk of sucker on there. Down it goes. If we get another fish the quality of one of those three come through, they'll have no problem inhaling this bait. I've caught some big fish lately on some smaller cuts of baits, because a lot of the shad I've had lately have been smaller. But those baits there, still easily edible by fun size fish. I don't know, you get a dink down there messing with it, that could be, they can sit there and chew it. They probably won't get the bait and the hook. Okay, well, let's turn this crap back off. We'll get you all back here in the chest, this direction. Put this camera back up, and we'll do another one here when we get that head bait to put it on. We'll go, what I think I'd like to do is, I want to keep a head and a chunk, a head bait and a body section, but we'll probably rotate now too, a sucker on one side and a shad on the other too, just to mix it up. We'll have two different cuts of bait, two different types of baits, and roll with that. Nice to catch some big ones though. I went down to Nick. So in my last video, I said I was going to Nickajack the next day, and I did. And I stunk it up down there. I fished with Daniel, and him and I combined caught a total of 3 fish. I had 2 small dinks, and he had 1 small dink. And when I mean dinks, I mean like these were not much bigger than our bait size fish. Like it was a dud of a trip. And I fished much deeper than what I've been fishing lately. I fished a stretch of river that I won a tournament on this time last year, because there's a tournament coming up, and it's actually tomorrow down there. And I was seeing if I don't think I'm going to fish the tournament, to be honest with you. I may get talked into it tonight. I just don't really want to go back down there and fish a Saturday with right now only 2 people. I checked it this morning before I left the house. Only 2 people were signed up for this tournament. Now, a lot of people sign up last minute. Like they're planning on going, but they just don't sign up until last minute. But I think this tournament's probably going to have less than 10 people. I really just don't want to fish all damn day on a Saturday for a tournament with 10 people. And the area I'm going to have to go to have a chance at winning is going to be covered up with people. Like I went down to where the tournament check-in is at, which would allow me the most time on the water, and that's where I went last year and won the tournament. I had a really good day last year and got some big fish and took home the trophy. But I went down there and pre-fished and didn't do worth crap. Me and Daniel combined got 3 fish. So I wouldn't want to go back to that same area for tournament day. And an area I know, one of my bass fishing buddies messaged me or called me the other day and told me about where he had been getting some big fish accidentally while he was bass fishing. And it's, there goes our shad head. Here we go. The next one. He's rolling around. It's a blue. We could bust a flathead today here too, but this one's another blue here for sure. I'd like to bust a flathead here today. I'd always like to bust a flathead. But I'm content catching these blues too, especially when they're the size of the ones we've been getting. Yeah, buddy. So this was on the head. We had the head bait initially on the left rod, but when I dropped this bait down, we had that head laying out from the last shad we cut, so we put it down here on this side. We got some fish. It's a little bit later bite. I mean, like, we sat here for what? 30, 40 minutes with really not much going on, that one tap, first thing. And we sat here 30, 40 minutes, and then now we've had a flurry of activity. It's like lately, the better bite's been at dawn, but for us today, the sun, once it was up for a little while, that's when they started moving through. This one right here is another quality fish. I think it's going to be the smallest one thus far, but it's still a dang good one. Come over here, fish. Let me guide you into that net. Okay. All right. Boy, that nickel's been lucky for us, ain't it? Here we did get lucky finding that nickel at the boat ramp, and that may be our good luck charm today. Anytime you just get money just falling from the heavens and landing at your feet at the boat ramp, and that's some good luck involved with that. And it's proven to bring us some fish too, ain't it? This one got hooked down in a little bit deeper there in the mouth. There we go. Let's take a look at our hook again. So far, so good with these hooks. They're holding up well. All right, let's set this back up. Put y'all back up here. This one we ain't gonna spin around in the sun for. Sorry, fish. Oh, we got your, there we go. Had its fin hung in the net right there. How about this? Smallest fish of the day so far. Ain't that saying something? We want some good quality here, man. See ya. Whew. I'll fist bump that one too, buddy. Okay. Yeah. Let's grab us another shad here. Oh, I dropped it. Okay. I've got a few gizzard shad that are real big, and I've got a few that's that size, but we're just gonna take and probably just cut it in half here. We'll have that head there going down on the next one. I'm optimistic about this sucker over here, but I do want to have us some shad out the whole trip today because we've just been doing so good with it. I ain't been able to catch no skipjack, and well, honestly, I ain't even been trying lately. I had a channel member of mine, lives local to me. He had found some skipjack, and so it was back in, I guess it's back in March now, because I got them before I went to that Alabama tournament there in March. And I got a few. And then they moved on from there, and other times I went out, I just wasn't doing any good. And I'm like, man, the skipjack fishing's been so bad here the last couple of years, it just ain't worthwhile. I can go in most of these backwater creeks, I can go and get some shad in a reasonable time frame versus spending hours skipjack fishing and coming up empty-handed. So we just been rolling with the shad, and it's been doing real good for us lately, as you all have seen. I mean, we've been busting some big fish with it. So, I mean, I'm gonna use whatever bait's convenient. I'm gonna try to use, because that's, I mean, would I prefer to have some fresh skipjack? Absolutely. But if I spend a full day looking for them and don't get anything, well, it's like, well, we could have got some shad in 20 minutes and went out and fished that day and probably got a couple days worth of bait with the shad. And it's like, even if the skipjack would be working better, and I don't know that it would be, honestly, but let's say it did, but you end up losing hours upon hours of time you could be catfishing because you're searching for the last few skipjack left. It's like, ain't worthwhile. So I've been rolling with the shad. If I get back on a skipjack bite, if I see them somewhere, get a report where they are, I may go try it, but we just throw in the net, and I just got lucky there yesterday and got that sucker. So we're gonna roll with it. By saying though, the nickajack tournament, like I may get talked into it tonight, going down there tomorrow, but I really just don't want to. I don't have a great desire to go fish all day long on a Saturday up by the dam where I'm gonna have to go, because I know there's some fish up there, and I ain't been spending no time on nickajack this year. So I don't really have a desire to do it. There ain't no money in a tournament. I mean, with so few people coming and no sponsor money added, it's like you're gonna have to win to turn a profit. I mean, even with me, and I live about hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. It'd be a little longer tomorrow because they're doing some bridge work. I'm going to have a detour on the interstate. So that would be a little bit of a nuisance. I'd have to leave earlier in the morning or drive down to 9 and get a hotel, which I don't want to do that because then that adds to the expense. I mean, let's think about this. You got a $150 entry fee. If you get a hotel, let's say another probably $120. I mean, unless you stay at the Motel 6. So now you get what? $270 fuel down there and back. So now you're over $300. And I mean, at that point, you're forced to win. You have to win to turn a profit. Because even if you finish second place and you cash, you're probably not going to cover your $300 in expenses. So like, unless it's just something, and in my case, doing videos, like I'll as long as I get a video, I would turn a profit. And my tournament videos usually do good, but with no more fruit on the tree as far as what the tournament would pay, like unless it's just something I really want to do, then it's not worthwhile. And I just don't think I don't want to fish. If I can't fish where I want to and have a reasonable chance to win, and I proved that when I went down there, like I don't think I can do it. I'm going to have to go where I don't want to go, be around people all day, and be forced to fish all day on a Saturday when busy boat traffic day. I'm like, I just don't think I want to fool with it. I do think I will fish tomorrow, but it won't be for catfish and it won't be there. I'll tell you, let me tell you about this. So this was very interesting. Well, I thought it was interesting. You all may not think so. So I go out yesterday afternoon, I'm going to net us some shad for today, right? And I had went up into another creek up from where I launched and was looking, I had the live scope on, I was looking around. And I made a throw of what I thought was gizzard shad, and it turned out to be yellow bass. I have a hard time on live scope figuring out the difference between gizzard shad and yellow bass when I see them on the screen. So anyway, I got a net full of damn yellow bass. So I had to pick all them out, throw them back. Can't keep those in the cast net. So I make them way along, and I'm getting some thread fins. I ain't really seeing no gizzards. And so I go across I come out of that creek, I go across the river, and there's a little flat over there. I'm looking around on there, and so you got the river, you got this little flat, and then you've got a creek that comes in on that flat with a bridge going across it. And it's super shallow once you get over there. Like where that creek comes in to that flat, I mean, it's dirt shallow. And it's even more shallow right now because our water's still down from this drought we've been in. But I'm over there, and I make my way over there to that shallow area by the bridge just to see if there's anything around the rocks by the bridge, maybe some shad or whatever. And I see some bluegill. Like I'm standing up in the kayak and I'm looking down, the water's fairly clear. I see some bluegill on beds right there in front of that bridge. And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. I'll tuck that away in the memory bank and come back there because, you know me, I love some bluegill fishing, especially when they're all on the beds and easy pickings right there, right? And while I'm standing up looking at all those bluegill beds, I see a fish splash up under the bridge, like back. So under this bridge, this is a very narrow bridge, and the water in this bridge, you're talking 6-8 inches of water under that bridge in an area barely wide enough for this kayak. But once you get under the bridge, it opens up into this big wide area. And I just assumed that it would, hold on, our sucker. Oh, big takedown on the sucker. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Our sucker got eat. Oh, he's off to the races, buddy. It's go time. Oh, he's headed back to the river. He's headed out. He's headed out that way. Thankfully, he didn't. getting our anchor rope because he was going where he wanted to go, buddy. He gobbled it up and was gone. That's awesome. Buddy, we're on some fish right here. It wasn't on right at sunrise today, but we're on them now. We are on them, man. Every one of these fish has been great quality too. We had that one, what I think was probably a small dink pecking right after we dropped baits in. And since then, it's been nothing but good fish. Oh, he's back over here under us now. I hope he don't get in that rope or my other line. Tell him to go back out that way, folks. I'm excited to get a look at this one. I told you I got a bunch of confidence in that sucker. A bunch of confidence in it, man. It's just one of those baits. I don't get them often, but when I do, and it don't matter if I'm using them cut or if I'm using them live. And that one there, he would have been a big live bait, but I didn't take a bait tank out there with me to keep him alive. I just went out to get us some shad, throw in the cooler, you know. But I've just had so much success with sucker. I don't know what it is about them, but the catfish love them. It's like a treat to them almost. They probably eat them all the time down there, truth be told. But I just don't have a, oh no! He just popped free. Ain't nothing wrong with our hook. It looks fine. The leader's a little abraded, but we're gonna roll with it. Dang, man. How'd y'all lose that fish? I mean, my gosh, how'd you lose it? I can't believe you all lost that dang fish. I've never lost a fish in my life. The whole time I've been fishing, all these years, I have never lost a fish. And y'all just lost another one. We're gonna put that sucker head on now though, buddy. Here, y'all set up there a minute. Let's get baited up with this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and get a picture of it while I do it. We'll put this on and hopefully have a little better. I mean, I don't know what went wrong with that. I have no idea. Just popped free. Maybe we didn't have him hooked good. Maybe we just kind of hooked him in the flesh of the mouth and the hook pulled out. Maybe he was clamped onto the bait, never had the hook. I don't know. Who knows? Things happen. They don't happen to me though, because I've never lost a fish. That's the story I'm sticking with. If you say it with confidence, people will believe it to be true. It's a little pro tip for you there, kids. All right, let me stand back up here and get this picture. Bear with me, folks. Got important work here to do. Just got to get the right angle here. Get proper lighting. I like them big sucker heads on a thumbnail there. I think that'll be fine right there. Yeah, that'll work. All right. Well, we've already got it hooked up there too. Let me just drop it down just like so. Our one and only sucker head. That though, folks, that is a big fish, trophy fish bait right there. Well, I don't know how big that last one was, but I mean, it felt good. Who knows, it might have been probably same size, comparable to the others we've got, but like, it felt good. So we'll see what happens with that head. If we get a big trophy fish swim through though, I guarantee he ain't gonna turn down that head. He ain't gonna snub his nose at it. All right, y'all. Man, oh man. But now that we've got through the disappointment of you losing that fish, let's get back to the story there, right there. Speaking of fish, look right here. Just had something else work through. So anyhow, I'm over there. I'm up on that flat. I'm seeing them bluegill beds right there in front of that bridge. And I look under that bridge where it opens up, and I'm seeing fish splashing. And I'm like, well, I can see that it opens up back there, but I just assumed it would be the same depth as what's coming under the bridge. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back there and just take a peek, see what's going on. So I go, and again, under this bridge, and you'll see, I'm going to go there and film a video. The bridge, I mean, it's wide enough to float this kayak. Like, it is a narrow, like, no boat is getting through there, at least not right now with the water being down. But I get back to the back end of the bridge, and there's a beaver dam. Well, I assume it's a beaver dam. There's a bunch of, like, sticks and stuff all stacked up. And so it's either a beaver dam, they've put it in there and blocked that area off, or maybe in times of, like, heavy rains and a lot of current, maybe stuff is just accumulated there. I don't know. Either way, it's blocked off. But I'm in this kayak, super lightweight kayak, so I get out, drag the kayak up and over the beaver dam, and I get back into this open area of this creek. And the depth changes. And we go from a few inches under the bridge there, well, now I'm in like 4 to 6 foot of water all throughout this area, and it's stacked with fish. I throw the net immediately. I got a net full of shad, gizzards. I go back through there some more. I'm seeing some other stuff. I'm like, wonder what that is. I throw the net, yellow bass. I see some more stuff. I wonder what that is. I pull up crappie. Now, of course, I'm letting all this stuff go because you can't keep them in cast net, game fish and stuff. So yellow bass, largemouth, bluegill, crappie, all that stuff's going to be thrown back. But I caught all of it back there. They're all trapped. It's created a pond because the very back of the creek where the water is down, like it's dirt shallow. And then up by the bridge, it's dirt shallow and then dammed off from the, I assume beavers have done it. But whatever, it's still like you've got this mound of sticks. So maybe things like threadfin shad or small bluegill or something, they can navigate through them sticks that are under the water to get back through there. But your bigger fish, your carp, your bigger gizzard shad, crappie, largemouth, like they're trapped in this area that's, it's a fairly large area, but like we could cover it. We could fish it thoroughly in 2 or 3 hours probably. So I'm like, that's a private fishing hole at this point. As long, with the water level being where it is, and we should be, at this point in the game, this point in the year, we should be at normal summer pool by now. But we're still down a few feet because we just haven't had much rain this year. So with the water level the way it is, the only people that can access this area that I'm talking about is people in a kayak. And it's going to have to be somebody in a lightweight kayak too, because like if I was in my Hobie Pro Angler, there's no way in hell I would want to try to drag that thing up and over that beaver dam. Like it'd just be too damn heavy. But in a small, narrow, lightweight thing like this that I'm in, well, I'll just walk right back there and pull it over and we'll just fish that area. So I think I'm going to go there tomorrow instead of the tournament, even though it's a Saturday, a weekend. Be a lot of boat traffic out on the river. None of those people are going to be back there where we're at because they can't access it. They can't get to it. And I'm excited to see, because I would just see stuff on the live scope and throw the net just to see what they were. And like I said, I got crappie, largemouth, bluegill, yellow bass. I saw some carp back there, just visually spooking them once I got on back even shallower toward the back of that creek. So, there's a ton of life in there. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to go in there with the Ultralight and just have us a day and catch whatever we can catch. And like I said, when I launched yesterday, I went up to another creek that's easily accessible. and was throwing the net, and I mean just small threadfin. I wasn't getting any gizzards. And then I go over the beaver dam there into this area that's completely sealed off, and there's gizzard shad everywhere. Like, I don't know how those fish, I don't know, either they were in there and then the water dropped and they all got trapped, or maybe that beaver dam, I don't know how long the beaver dam, because I never been back there before. This was a new, I never realized I could get back there, honestly. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. We're going to go, and if I get talked into fishing the tournament, then we'll do that Sunday. But if I don't fish the tournament tomorrow, we're going to go there tomorrow and just have us a day. We'll take some worms in there and just work all the way around what is essentially a pond now. I mean, it's basically what it is. Because it's sealed off from the river, and there's no water flowing in from the back of that creek. Like, the back of the creek's dry because we've not had the rain. So you've just got this basin of water where it's like 4 to 6 feet deep. And the water that's there is the water that's there, and all of those fish are trapped in there. I'm like, this is a honey hole paradise right here. We're going to take advantage of this. Like, it ain't often, like, you'll find a good bite sometimes on the water, and then those fish move. Or you'll find a good bite, and I'll film a video and people start showing up there. But like this, I mean, this spot, hell, I could give GPS coordinates to it. I won't, but I mean, I could. And unless a person's in a kayak, they ain't accessing it, because you will not get a boat in there. You couldn't get a boat under the bridge right now. Because I mean, you're literally talking, I barely had enough water to float this thing. And this thing only needs 3 or 4 inches of water to float. I could barely get through there, and it's narrow. Like, I mean, but once you get under it, though, it just opens up this big area, this big basin back there. So we're going to take advantage of that, most likely tomorrow, maybe Sunday, if I make a dumb decision to fish a tournament. But I just don't have a desire. I enjoy fishing the tournaments, and my tournament videos certainly do well, but I want to have fun too. And one of the things I never enjoy about the tournaments is the fact they're on Saturdays. And those are just busy boat traffic days. And I try to avoid the boat traffic as much as possible. I like fishing weekday mornings for that specific reason, because I'm able to kind of hide from people more. I can get out and do my thing, and by the time I get off the water, that's when most people are getting on the water. Even in the summertime, when there's more kids out of school and more boat traffic in general on the rivers, because I'm fishing so early on weekdays. If I'm off the water 10, 11 o'clock, well, I'm gone before all the pleasure boaters come out. But if you're fishing all day on a Saturday, you just can't avoid it. And I just don't enjoy it as much. I don't have as much fun. And the last few years, when this channel, I've been really focused on content, like maximum content, to try to do what's going to get the most views. I would be all over it going to a tournament like this, regardless, because how the videos perform. But now I'm like, if I just get less clicks, so be it. If I don't get a tournament video tomorrow, who cares? I just want to have fun. I want to have the most fun possible. That's why I'm fishing out of this thing more, instead of my bigger kayak, where I can carry more gear and have all the GPS functions of the motor and stuff. Like, this is a more fun platform for me to fish off of, so that's what I want to do. That's what I want to spend my time, and if it costs me content because of it, well, so be it. I'll just have less content. I want to focus more on having fun. And with the tournament being when it is, and I know I'm going to have to fish where I'm going to have to go, and even if you do well in the tournament, you ain't going to turn a profit. It's like, yeah. We've got a boat up here. It's going to cut between us and the bank. They're literally going to cut between us and this bank to get in this creek. They've snuck in behind us here. I didn't hear them pull up. I've been flapping my gums and I didn't hear them. I hope we don't have to interact with them. We're going to be so close we'll probably have to talk. Probably have to say hi or something. I'll let you all say hi. I'm just antisocial on the water. I don't like chit chat in general. I especially don't like talking to strangers. I'm all awkward about it. I'll tell you that story here in a little bit too. Don't let me forget. I've got an opportunity to fish with another YouTuber that's way bigger channel than mine. And I'm just so socially awkward. It's like I'm gonna have to meet a stranger. I just like fishing by myself, you know. I like doing my own thing. I hope this boat goes on quick. We've been out here undisturbed since we set up on this spot. I had a little trouble this morning. Couldn't go where I'd planned on going, which turned out to be fine. Again, there wasn't nothing special about that other creek. It was just a matter of convenience. Just be able to put in at that particular boat ramp and go right across the channel and be at that creek. But with that other boat fishing at first thing, I'm like, well, we'll just run up here. And I'm glad we did now with the fish we've got. I still will fish that other creek down there at some point soon. I may come back there maybe Monday or Tuesday next week. See what we can get down there. I may done ultralight fishing that basin there I was talking about in that creek. May throw the cast net, get some more shad. Of course, if I do it tomorrow, being Saturday, I don't want to come down here on Sunday, that's for sure. Be covered up with boats. They'd be 2 days old on Monday. I don't know. Maybe I fish that creek on Sunday. Then I could load up on bait. Yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll make a decision. These two, well, they're going to cut right between us. Oh well, it ain't going to affect us. I just hope I don't have to interact. What else do I got to tell you? I got to tell you about the other YouTuber. I feel like there was something else big I was going to tell you all about today. And I'm having a brain cramp. I got to start writing this stuff down. Every time I get that thought, like I'm gonna make myself a list, I never do it. I get on the water and I'm like, I know there was something I was going to do or say. I don't. I feel like I got cut off on a story earlier too when we were reeling in the fish and I didn't finish up, but I can't remember what it was now. I don't know if that's true or if I'm imagining that or not. The hell, I can't remember 5 minutes ago, let alone an hour ago. Hopefully these will be the only ones that come through here today. And there ain't very many creeks up and down this stretch of river. So when you get these bank beaters, they're going to find their way into all of them. So far, we've been fortunate right here so far. For as long as we've been out here to only see one boat. Of course, the wind is going to face us right toward them too as they come by. Going to get the kayak spun around to face them. Never fails. If the wind would blow the other way, we could definitely avoid it. I need to blow my nose too, and I don't want to do it with that microphone on. Oh, the camera. That's the other thing I got to tell you all about here in a little bit too. Another one. There's two more on the other side over there. Busy, busy morning. I'm sure they'll be out of here in a few minutes. That's one thing about bass fishermen. They never fish an area long. That's why I was debating this morning that other one. Look, even though they were live scoping, it looked like, I'm sure they wouldn't have sat there too long, but if they did start catching them, then maybe they would have. But we're right up against it with the sun coming up. I was like, if we wait, and then they didn't, and they did end up staying there, and then we had to make a run up here, we would have for sure missed the sunrise, which it didn't matter today. I was having a real dilemma with it first thing. Like, what do I do? It paid off in the end, though. Come up here and bust some big ones. Hopefully get a few more today, too, before we roll out. Oh, hell, they just caught one over here. So they're guaranteed to stay longer now. Dang. I don't think it's very big. We got bait bigger than that. They definitely going to fish that creek a little bit more thoroughly now, though. We're going to be stuck with them. They put that thing in the live well, too. They must be in a tournament today. Wouldn't think there'd be a tournament on on Friday, but what do I know? We got one back home that's, well, it's at a ramp close to my house, a few minutes away. And they run on like Wednesdays, like Wednesday mornings. I think it's like a business tournament, like they all work together at some factory or something, and you'll show up to a boat ramp on a random Wednesday and they'll be there and be 50 boats. An odd time for a tournament. I guess it works out with their schedule. Why does the kayak have to face this direction? Like, we're literally faced right here. I guess we'll sit here and watch Bassmaster live. I just wouldn't want to fish with somebody. I mean, I've fished in boats before and went with friends, and I took people out back when I had a boat back in the day, but I like being in a kayak because you can get away from people. Even when you're fishing with somebody, another kayak fisherman, like you're not right up on them, you know. Like these two goobers here, I mean, they're shoulder to shoulder. They're going to be sniffing each other's farts all day long. Like, I just don't want to be around anybody that long, that close all day. Bunch of damn fart sniffers. They caught one fish there, though, by God. They'll work it. They'll beat it to death. Make 87 more casts right there. At least if we ain't reeling in a fish right now, we can watch them reel in one. Wasn't probably even big enough to see on this camera. I probably couldn't. I can't zoom in on this thing, so. I'm gonna turn this way because I don't want to sit here and hear them talking about some damn driveway. Let me tell you about the camera though, right quick. So I think I mentioned it in one video, but GoPro's coming out with the new Mission. They're calling it's not a GoPro Hero camera anymore. It's a GoPro Mission camera. And my initial thoughts on this camera was I would pump the brakes on it. Like, I'm not gonna, I've been burned by buying new technology a few times. And it got me, I think, the GoPro that I have, I got my thumbnail with earlier, is a GoPro 10. When I got the GoPro 11, it tore up day one. I had to send it back. I had the DJI Action 3, it had a lens problem. All of them did. Action 3 when it came out. And so I was kind of like, with this being a brand new model of the GoPro, like a completely different camera, maybe I should wait. Let them get the kinks worked out, let it get in the hands of real world people, find out what's wrong with it, and then try it out if it's worthwhile. But I fell for the marketing hype, and I ordered the damn thing. I pre-ordered it, which it should ship, I think, end of the month, 28th, 29th, something like that. I think it's supposed to ship, assuming there's no delays. So, anyway, I pre-ordered the damn thing, but it's supposed to, it's got a lot of new features that I will never use. A lot of things that I thought GoPros wasted time on in the past. I mean, this is technically their 14th camera. They've got 13 of the Hero models. And they've had the same problems in all of them. They glitch or they overheat, which is my issue. They overheat. And this is supposed to fix that. Finally, the 14th model, they've supposedly fixed the overheating issue. We'll see. We'll see if they have or not. But if they have, if they fix the overheating problem, and if I can connect a microphone to it with like their network or Bluetooth, whatever, without having to use a USB-C and connector, that would be huge. Like, that would be, to be able to get the best quality video, to be able to take still frames off of that video that's high quality and not overheat. Who knows if it'll live up to, because I mean, every time they come out with a new camera, the marketing, I mean, their marketing is on point. It looks amazing. And then you get the new camera and it's got glitches. And it overheats in 20, 30 minutes and shuts down. Like, the video quality of GoPro is amazing, but it's just so finicky. Like, you just can't do it very long unless you've got cold conditions or some serious airflow to keep the battery internals cool. But this one's supposed to have some kind of different processor, and it's supposed to be more efficient. The battery life is supposed to be like 3 hours on just the battery in 4K 30 when you're filming 4K, which is what I film in. So, like, if it's true, if it lives up to what they're saying it will, then it could be exactly what I need. So I went ahead and took the plunge. I pre-ordered. That way I can get it ASAP, and I'll just return the damn thing if it's junk, like I done the GoPro 11. My GoPro 10, it works. Like, I filmed a lot of videos with it, as long as you don't hook anything to it or run it for long periods of time. So, like, say I'm doing, like, all my tournament videos have been filmed with the GoPro, and I just film in clips. You know, I film my intro, turn the camera off. Rod goes down, turn the camera on, reel up the fish, turn the camera back off when I'm done. And by doing that, it don't overheat. And I just used the, because I'll show you. Like, let me get the camera back out here. I'm going to show you. So like I just used the regular microphones on this thing, but I've put pieces of fur. The microphones are here and up top, and I just put pieces of fur over there to help block the wind. Now it's not perfect, but it's not terrible either. The audio on this microphone I'm using today, it'll be better for sure because a dedicated microphone. But this isn't terrible on TV or your phone. Where it sucks is if you're using earpods, earbuds, whatever, the headphones you just stick in your ears. Then it gets kind of, the quality just isn't as good on the earbuds. And when you're using the regular microphones, when you shift your body weight, I've got this thing put in my life jacket right now. When I move around, it'll pick up on the microphone. Or when I transfer it to the front camera mount, it'll pick up on the microphone. So there'll be some clanging around and stuff. And that can be obnoxious for the viewer. So it's better to have a dedicated microphone. But to hook a microphone to the GoPro, historically, you have to have the media mod adapter that plugs in here and allows you to hook the microphone transmitter to it, and then you put the microphone that you wear transmits to the transmitter, which is connected to the camera. When you plug stuff in here with that media mod, you get glitches. And so what would happen, I would get home, or I'd be out there filming, and it would be recording, and the screen would freeze. It would just stop recording. No beeping, no notification, no nothing. It would just stop recording. And you couldn't even turn the camera off, nothing. You would have to remove the battery, put the battery back in, turn it on, and then you would have lost your whole footage. And then if that transmitter, maybe you bump it, and the cord wiggles a little bit, or if your microphone dies, you'd get home and you'd have no audio. Like the regular microphone in the GoPro wouldn't take back over when you had a problem with the external mic. So, I lost a bunch of trips. I'd get home, I'd have no audio at all. So it's just one of them things. And then again, if you leave it running for any length of time, especially if it's a sunny day, it just overheats. So, the video quality is amazing. And the quality of the photos that you pull off, like if you want to do a screenshot, like you can have a high quality photo that you can blow up, if you want to print it out and put it on a wall or something. But there's just so many glitches with this thing. So I film these unedited videos with the DJI camera that doesn't overheat, but the video quality isn't as good, and the screenshots aren't very good quality. They're fine for social media, but like if you wanted to actually print something out, like it's terrible with the DJI. So I'm hoping the new GoPro, you can supposedly, GoPro's coming out with a new microphone too, but you're going to be able to connect it to the camera like I do with the DJI, where I don't have to plug anything into it. And battery life's going to be better, and it won't overheat allegedly. So, if it all pans out like they say it's going to, it will be worthwhile. But if it's not, then I'm going to send the damn thing back because it's $600. Like it's the most expensive action camera that's come out yet, to my knowledge. I think the other GoPros have been like $299 or $399, I think, which is pretty steep too. But if their claims hold true, it's worth it. Especially, I wouldn't want to do it for like a hobby, but like, with me doing this business here, YouTube, like it's worthwhile for me if it pans out. But if it's junk, if it has, and what I worry about is anytime you get new products, there's oftentimes problems on the first run of them, right? We've seen that with a lot of technology, phones, cars, any kind of technology. oftentimes you have issues with the first generation. And then those bugs get worked out and future iterations are a little better. Now GoPro is the exception to that because, hell, they had 13 iterations of the GoPro Hero camera, and every one of them has the screen lock up and overheat. Like, they had the same problems for 13 times. They kept adding stuff. They would add new features, and you could film in these super high resolutions, and I'm like, what good is any of that if you can't keep the camera running? Like, I don't need all that stuff. I need to be able to film in 4K. Maybe at some point in the future, when they're able to get the file sizes for an 8K video down to a reasonable amount, maybe we could do that. But right now, like this video today, let's say we fish out here today for 3 or 4 hours. My file size today is going to be somewhere between 80 to 90 gigabytes. That's a big file, and it takes a long time to upload that to the YouTube platform. Well, if you're filming at 8K, I mean, you're looking at double the file size. It's just not realistic. So I would rather GoPro have just made a camera that can film in 4K, which is perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine for social media and YouTube purposes, and have a camera that runs, don't have all the glitches. I do like that apparently these microphones, like this microphone I'm running now, I'll show you here, I've got it attached right here. It connects wirelessly to the camera. And I thought it was like a Bluetooth thing, but apparently it's not a Bluetooth. Apparently it's like its own network with the camera and the microphone that connects. But I'm glad that GoPro is finally doing that, because they always before wanted you to, and it was honestly, I think it was a way to sell you another gadget, but they would make you buy their media mod, which is like I can't remember that one I had, like 70, 80 bucks, something like that. But you had to buy it to be able to connect a microphone to the camera. And it was a way for them to basically just gouge you, just get a little bit more money out of you. And so now they're at least going to be able to, of course you'll have to buy GoPro's microphone. I won't be able to use this DJI microphone on the GoPro, unless you then plug it in, which I don't want to do, because then we'll probably have the glitches. Like my GoPro 10 there that I showed you, when I'm just using the stock microphone, I don't use the media mod, the screen don't freeze up. I still have the overheating issue, but I don't have the glitches. It's only when I plug something into it. I can plug my battery pack into it, but I can't plug the media mod, microphone, anything like that. If I do that, at least once a trip, it's going to glitch. So I don't want to, and too, when you plug it in, like I said, there would be times where at some point during a trip, just me shifting my weight or landing a fish or whatever, I guess I'd bump the cord where it plugs in, and then you get home and, well, you've lost all your audio. And that's, incredibly frustrating. I lost so many videos because of that, and it's like, I don't want to deal with that issue. And I'm hoping that they supposedly have improved the stock microphones on this new camera. So it would be awesome if I could just use the wind muffs like I've done on that one and not have to use an external mic at all. That would be awesome if it works out to where I can. That's just one less battery to charge, one less thing to go wrong. The DJI microphone has been pretty good. I've only had, well, I'll tell you, I actually had a problem the last video I filmed. Oh my God, are these bad? They've worked their way down. Now they've turned. Now they're coming back this way. I just can't get rid of these guys. I hope they ain't gonna, they caught a fish over here off this island. They'll probably come back and hit it again. bass fishermen, old fart sniffers. But I did have a problem with this DJI microphone. So the microphone itself records to the microphone. So like you have the audio file recording to it, but by connecting it to the camera, like it just automatically connects the audio to the video. Well, I get home after that the last trip was Nickajack, which I didn't do any good on, but the one where we actually caught enough fish for a video. I get home and I put it on the computer and I'm like, well, half the audio's gone. Like it randomly just stopped recording audio midway through the trip. Now, the microphone was still working. It was still flashing on my screen, like at the top of my display here on the back of the camera. Of course, you can't see it on the video, but like there's a little green line, and every time I speak, the green line moves. And that lets me know that the microphone is connected and recording. Well, it was showing that the whole time I was filming that day. But for some reason, midway through the trip, it just lost connection. And I had no audio, and the regular camera microphone didn't take over. So I get home and I've only got half the audio, but thankfully, I mean, again, the microphone itself stores an audio file, so I was able to just put the audio file on the computer, sync everything up. Pain in the ass, shouldn't have to do that, but I did, and we got perfect audio again. But that's one of those things, it's like, and that's an anomaly. Like thankfully I don't have any, I hope we don't have this problem today. I hope it's just a one-time thing. Maybe I turned in such a way, or who the hell knows why it lost connection. But still, it's one of those things you wouldn't have to worry about if I didn't have the external microphone. If I could just keep everything simple, use the stock mic, and get decent audio. And I don't know how many people, and this is one of the things I have no idea, like how many people use earbuds to listen to my videos? Because the other microphone is fine for TV and cell phone. It's really just the earbuds. And most of my views these days come on TV. Now, YouTube does tell me that. Like in the analytics, I could look and see like what percentage of people are watching on what platform. But like, I still don't really know the number of earbud users. Like, so I don't know. We'll see. When I get the camera, we'll try it out. I'll take it out. Because, I mean, GoPro hasn't come out with their microphone yet. So, like, I can't even hook a microphone to it at first. But we'll get it out and try it with just the stock microphone and see how it sounds. And go from there. I don't think the microphone, when they come out with them, it's not going to be very expensive. I think it's like $150 or something like that. So, I mean, it's one more thing you got to buy, because it's, God forbid, GoPro lets you connect the DJI microphone to the, but I mean, they're competing companies. Of course they're not. It's like Apple and Android and the phone market. But I am happy to see GoPro at least acknowledge their overheating problem. Like, you can't even, all the GoPro Hero models, like, they don't even acknowledge the overheating problem. And now they've come out and talked about how this camera is going to be more thermal efficient or whatever. And so, like, they've finally at least acknowledged everybody's complaint. So I'm optimistic, but I should get it soon. I mean, it's allegedly going to ship on the end of the month here. So hopefully be filming with it in early June. I don't know how long it'll take to ship. You know, is it one of them situations where it's going to leave the warehouse and hit the mail that day? Or are they going to package them all up and you're going to get a shipping notice that it's preparing to ship, and then it don't ship for another week or two after that? Who the hell knows? I was on the fence though. I was like, I'm interested, and if it works like it says it's going to, then I'm all in on it. But I know better. I know better than to get excited over technology. And I should probably just kind of hit the brakes a little bit, let some other people be the first ones to test it, get some real world feedback from real people, not influencers that are getting free cameras and getting paid by GoPro. Like, let me get some real world experience from people and make a decision from there. And well, I took the plunge. I took the plunge, folks. It'll either work out or it won't. But I'm excited about the possibility of it. Is that a fish right there? Or is that just us bouncing? The wind started to blow a little bit. It's kind of facing us toward this creek now. So I'm glad Fart Sniffer 1 and 2 went on, because thankfully we didn't have to engage with them. I didn't have to talk to them. I just don't like talking on camera around people, and when I'm hearing everything they're saying about whatever's going on in their driveway, like, I know they're hearing me talk, which is, I mean, the hell, they could watch this video. They wouldn't, but they could and hear me talk. But like, I'm just weird about it. I always have been, always will be. I'm socially awkward. That's why it makes it hard for me to interact with strangers, because I'm weird about it. So on that topic, so I had a YouTuber. I probably shouldn't say his name. I mean, I don't guess it would matter, but I don't want to get y'all's hopes up for those of you that are a fan of him, and then me not end up fishing with him and everybody be disappointed. But I'll just say I've had a YouTuber with a very large following. I mean, 5 or 6 times as big a channel as mine. And he had reached out to me on Instagram, which I never get Instagram messages. I don't hardly get on Instagram. Everything goes to like a message request folder, and I don't venture into that very often, because it's usually just full of people cussing me out and wishing death on me, and you know, all the things that the internet trolls say. So I don't waste my time going in there very much. So he had messaged me, and it went to there, and so I didn't know about it. But then he reached out on Facebook and said that he had messaged me on there. So I went and hunted down the message. And he was wanting to come here and fish for a week. I guess he's going to take like a vacation, come up here and fish in my area and film. And he was wanting to collaborate with me, do like a collaboration video with me while he was here. And then he invited me down to fish wherever he lives. And I know of the guy. Like, I've seen his videos pop up on my feed, but I don't think I'd ever actually watched any of his videos, because I try not to. Like, I've got a few friends and stuff that I've met on YouTube that I'll click on their stuff, or if I'm trying to learn a new technique or a rig or whatever, like I'll watch YouTube fishing videos from that aspect, from like an educational standpoint. But like, I don't watch a lot of fishing videos for just entertainment purposes, and I don't do that for a couple reasons. First off, I spend so much time behind a computer having to edit my own stuff that when I'm done, I don't want to watch more fishing videos. Like, it's just, I hate sitting behind a computer and editing and all that crap. So I just don't have much interest in watching other fishing videos when I'm done. The other thing is, I don't want to watch random YouTube fishermen because I don't want to be influenced by them. And I don't necessarily mean like, I'm not talking about like them selling me stuff. I'm not talking about that kind of influence, but like, I don't want to see them do something or hear them say something or, you know, anything they do about their video and then me start imitating them. not even like trying to imitate them, but like just subconsciously you watch something or you hear something, and it just creeps into what you're doing without you even knowing. Like I don't want that to happen. So I try, because I mean, I want my videos to be me. Like I want them to be original. Like I do things how I do things. And if I start watching a lot of other YouTube fishermen and they do something I like or I enjoy, then it may accidentally show up in my mannerisms or my speech or vocabulary, whatever. So I don't want to be influenced like that. I want to be just authentically me without any external influence. If I don't know if that'll make sense to you or not, but like that may not make any sense to you. But anyway, those are the two big reasons why I don't really watch that many fishing videos. Aside from just, you know, my friends that I have on YouTube, I mean, most of the time I'm just doing it as like a courtesy thing. Like I'll be doing something else and I'll click on one of their videos and just let it run, kind of background noise to me, and it'll get them an extra click and some watch time. Like that's usually what I do. I'm not sitting down and just glued to a TV to watch those fishing videos, right? Like it's just not my thing. I used to like watching fishing shows. I mean, I was growing up, I watched Bill Dance and Roland Martin and all those fishing shows on TV, but just having to spend so much time behind a computer looking at my own footage, it just ruined me watching fishing videos. Like it's just one of them things. So I don't. But anyway, I knew of this guy, but I hadn't watched his videos, and his channel's huge. I mean, he's had a lot of success, way more success on YouTube than I could ever dream of. So it would be a huge windfall for me to be able to be featured on his channel. Like it would undoubtedly get me a lot of new eyes on this channel. Now him, like it's of no benefit of him to film with me. Now I think the benefit to him would be having kind of almost like a fishing guide up here, really, to be able to tell him where to go and what to do, how to get bait and all of that stuff. I mean, when you're going to a new body of water you've never been to before, or a new area, it can be difficult to get up to speed. And if he's here for a short time and needs to film, I don't know how many videos he would want to film on his trip, but like, if it takes you a little time to find bait and figure things out, it can cut into your filming time. So if I could shorten that learning curve, you know, that would be of benefit to him, of course. But as far as like me putting him on my channel, I mean, his channel's so much bigger than mine. Like I would assume all of you watching my channel right now already know him. And either maybe you watch him because you like him, or maybe you've watched him and don't like him, you know, and maybe you don't watch. I mean, it could go either way, but you probably know who he is. I would be shocked if there was anybody watching this video right now that didn't know who he was. So like there's no benefit to him by me featuring him on my channel. It's not like he's going to get a bunch of new subscribers or a bunch of new views. But for me, on the other hand, because his channel is so much bigger than mine, like I would potentially get in front of new people. Like, and he's more of a general fishing, hunting type thing too. So he's hitting a lot more people than kind of my core niche, you know, in the catfishing world. Because it's kind of like, the comparison I would use would be like, if a person was interested in kayak catfishing, they know who I am, right? Like, I mean, you can't search anything on YouTube, Google, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Like if you search kayak catfishing, you're going to find me. Like I've just kind of, I mean, between my channel name and the volume of videos that I've put out, like you can't search anything kayak catfishing and not find me. Now that doesn't necessarily mean the person that's searching for kayak catfishing information, that doesn't mean they're going to like me. but they at least know who I am, right? Like, and it's kind of the same thing with this guy. Like, even if you don't watch his videos, you're going to know who he is and will have formed an opinion on him already. So there's no benefit to him at all with fishing to me, fishing with me, or being on my video. But it would be a big benefit to me. It's just, there's a few things at play. One, I'm socially awkward, and it's hard for me to be comfortable with new people. Like, I'm just weird. As some of you that have met me in person have probably realized, I'm weird. I can't help it. Yeah, I used to not be as bad as I am now, because back when I had a real job, I was interacting with people on a daily basis. But it's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. And because I've been, I mean, I'm like, how long has it been now? 6 years since I've had a real job? Been doing this YouTube crap full time for 6 years. Like, in the last 6 years, I've not had a lot of social interaction outside of my circle of close friends and family. So I'm more awkward now than probably ever before. So there's that. Then there's the commitment issue. Like, you gotta, if you're gonna set something up with somebody, especially somebody like him that's, I mean, making some serious money on YouTube, like, I don't want to get in his way or cause him, because like that happened to me a couple years ago. I got really pissed off. I had filmed with another YouTuber one of these unedited, uncut videos, and I drove a ways to fish with him. He had invited me down, so I drove there, I fished with him, we filmed, and I get home and he messaged me and he doesn't want me to post that video. He wasn't comfortable with and we hadn't even talked about anything bad. Like, I thought, like, I honestly didn't understand what he was so worried about. But he thought that he had a real job, and he might get in trouble with his job because of stuff that we had talked about in video. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, because we didn't talk about anything that would get anybody in trouble. But anyway, I was like, whatever, you know, I mean, I'm not going to force the issue. He wanted me to edit out or whatever certain parts. I'm like, well, it's an unedited video. Like, we're not going to do that. Like, it's, you know, I'll just scrap it. So I scrapped the video, and that cost me a lot of money. Not only did it cost me money on the expense I took going down there, it cost me a day that I could have been filming somewhere else and actually getting video. And then, of course, the video itself, you know, just having to throw it away. Like, so anyway, that pissed me off. And so I'm always hesitant about filming with other people now because of that, because I don't want to be in that situation again. And I also don't want to do it to somebody else where, like, I mean, I wouldn't care. This guy, he could post anything about me. I'll say whatever. I don't give a damn. But, like, I don't want to make a commitment and something happen and then I have to back out, you know, and life happens. Who knows? I mean, hell, somebody gets sick or injured or whatever. And I don't want to have him make plans, come up here, rent a hotel or whatever, and then me not be able to go or something, and it negatively impact him in a financial way that I couldn't reimburse him for. Like, I mean, he makes so much money on his videos. Like, if he was planning on filming 4 or 5 videos up here and I couldn't do it, like, it would be a huge financial impact to him. And like, I just don't, you know, so I don't like making commitments. And I have other stuff too. Like, I'm going to Florida there for 2 weeks in the fall. I'm going to go to Sandusky Bay. I'm going to try to get to Louisiana. So, I mean, I've got some other stuff that I'm wanting to do. And so I hate to take on more commitments. And then there's the fact too, like, when is he going to, like, right now we're right up against the spawn here. I mean, most years where I live, the catfish, they'll either spawn in late May, they'll start to spawn, the bulk of them anyway, late May to early June. Now, this year we warmed up quicker, although you wouldn't know it this morning. It was cooler than it should have been, but, like, it got warm here faster than usual. Our water temps heated up quickly. And I thought that might put the fish on the nest a little sooner. Now, I think maybe our water level being down and some of these areas that the catfish spawn have been dry land because of our water level. Maybe that held it off a little bit, but like any day now, I would suspect these fish could go on the nest. The size of the bellies on the fish we've got today leads me to believe that it ain't happened yet, but like any time now, these fish could go on the nest. So I hate to make plans with somebody and they come up and 2 weeks from now and the bite just be dead. Like, if you're going to plan to come in my area and you want to chance at big fish and stuff, like, I would say anywhere in the month of April to mid-May, like take that, you could take a 6-week time period there from April 1st to say May 15th. That would probably be okay. You could even go back to maybe mid-March if you wanted to. But that time frame in the spring, you're going to have a chance at hooking big fish. That bite could last all the way to the end of May, maybe first week of June, depending on the year, but it also may not. So like if him or one of you all out there was planning a trip, I wouldn't do it for the end of May or early June. It wouldn't be worth the gamble because the bite may be dead. You'll still catch fish. I mean, just the water temps, like you'll catch small fish, sure. But your big trophy class fish, a lot of them will be on the nest at that point. And they'll start coming off, depending on when they go on. Like it may be, if they go on early, then it might be early July. You'll start catching big fish again. They'll be skinny, or they'll lost a lot of weight during the spawn, but like you'll start catching bigger fish there in early July. If they go on the nest, say in early June, late June, it may be end of July before you start catching those fish again in good numbers. So usually it's better spring, the time periods I mentioned there, or in the fall, like you get October, November time period when the water starts to cool. That time period, they usually start to drop our water level about mid-November. Like they'll drop our water about mid-November and it'll be down through usually end of April, early May, it'll be back at full pool. Now this year being the exception because we've had such a dry winter, we're actually in drought conditions right now, according to the weather people on the news, but that's why our water level's not up at normal pool right now. But most years, from about mid-November to May, water's down and then it comes back up normal pool. So you've got a period there in the fall where the water starts to cool and you're still at normal water levels. So like October to mid-November can be a great time. When the days start getting shorter, the water temperatures start to fall, you can bust some big fish in that time period. More frequently, I mean, you can bust a big fish any day, any time of the year. It's always a possibility. If you got a bait in the water, you've got a chance. But your better quality fish are going to be caught more frequently in really those, say, 4 months of the year. From April to mid-May, and then from October to mid-November. And the bite in the fall can vary a little too, depending on water temperature. Sometimes you get the month of October here in my area. Man, it could be 80-degree days. It could be 50-degree days. Like there's a wide, I mean, it just depends on the year. Like it's a wide range. There's been times on Halloween, like end of October, October 31st, Halloween. There's been times where I've been out in shorts and flip-flops. And I remember one year when I was a kid, it snowed on Halloween. Like we had snow on the ground on Halloween. So like, I mean, it just varies year to year. So that bite can vary in the fall. It might be early October, it really starts to ramp up. It might be mid to late October. It's going to vary. But there is a window there in the fall where you're going to catch bigger fish more frequently. And so if I was telling somebody to plan a trip, that's when I would tell them to come, either in the spring or the fall around those time periods. So, I don't know. I need to talk to this guy on the phone, and he's messaged me, give me his phone number and whatnot. I need to give him a ring and see what he's got in mind. But I'm leaning toward no, because I hate to take on a commitment. And even though it would be a huge boost to my channel, I mean, fishing with him would do way more for me than it ever would for him. He has no benefit whatsoever other than just me being able to, and I don't even have to fish with him to tell him. I can tell him some places to go and film and help him out with that stuff. I think he's just offering to film with me as a courtesy to, helping him out, which is very nice of him to do. I mean, I'm honestly flattered that I would even be on his radar, and he would even be offering to fish with me. Most of the bigger YouTubers, my channel is fairly large now, at least for the fishing genre. But like when I was an up and coming channel, man, the people that were above me in the catfishing genre, man, none of them were reaching down to offer me a helping hand up. Like I got where I'm at on my own. The bigger channels at the time, and I've passed most of them now, but like at the time, they weren't gonna help me up to their level. So the fact this guy is so big and he's willing to feature me on his channel, like I'm flattered, honestly. But I just hate to take on a commitment. I'm socially awkward, and I'm also a terrible fishing guide. Like I have no desire to be a fishing guide. I mean, I can tell him where to go and what to do, but is it going to work out? Like, and what if it don't? Like I don't have enough confidence in my fishing ability that I would ever want to. I've had a lot of requests for people wanting me to take them on guided trips and be a fishing guide and stuff. And at one point in time, I actually did do the due diligence on it. I had looked into the licensing process, to get a guide license. I'd figured I don't have to be a Coast Guard captain. Like on navigable rivers, you have to be a licensed Coast Guard captain to be a fishing guide. That wouldn't apply to me being in a kayak because you're operating your own vessel. I wouldn't actually be taking anybody. So I was able to bypass that, but I looked into insurance, found some companies to supply the gear and kayaks. Like I'd done the due diligence on it, but when you got around to it, I was like, I just don't want to do it. I don't have a desire to be a fishing guide. I don't think I would be very good at it. I don't think I'm a good enough fisherman to be accepting money to take people out fishing. Like, today, for instance, like we've caught some good fish today. I think if someone was on a guide trip with me today and they caught the fish that we've gotten, I would imagine they would probably be content with that. I would hope. They're pretty good quality fish that we got today. But let's say they had hired me for when I went to Nickajack, and me and Daniel, between the two of us, caught a grand total of 3 dinks. Look, there's no way I could have taken somebody's money in that situation. I would feel terrible being a fishing guide, taking their money and only putting them on 3 fish. But that's part of fishing, man. That you're going to have days like that. And if you're running a business as a fishing guide, like that's part of it. But it's just not for me. I just wouldn't feel comfortable with it. And so I hate to have somebody like a big YouTuber this guy, he's making thousands of dollars every video. I would hate for him to be dependent upon me putting him on fish to get his content and make his livelihood, and then I fail. Like it's just not the type of, I don't want to be under pressure when I go fishing. In a tournament situation, there's a sense of pressure because you're kind of fishing not only against other people but against the clock. But if I go to a tournament and I don't do any good, well, the only person that's negatively affected is me. and it's not a big loss in that situation. But if I negatively impact somebody else, or have the potential to negatively impact somebody else, like in that situation, then there's going to be a lot more pressure and stress on me. And I'm like, I just don't want to feel that when I go fishing. Fishing's kind of my getaway. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll work out or not. I'll give the guy a call and chat with him and see how it goes. But I'm flattered. I'm flattered that he would reach out. I'm flattered that he even knows who I am, and that's pretty cool. You just never know who's watching, man. You never know who's watching these videos. I think I've gotten like around 80 million views on my main channel, and I think I've gotten like 40 million, maybe somewhere thereabouts, on my second channel. So I mean, I've gotten well over 100 million views on YouTube, plus other social media platforms too, where I've got a bunch of views. So statistically speaking, there's had to be some pretty famous people that have watched my stuff. I mean, just when you're talking about that volume, over 100 million views, I mean, even if it's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of famous people out there, like somebody has seen my video that's famous. Somebody has. They had to have. No, they probably wouldn't acknowledge me, or if they saw me on the street, they wouldn't know who the hell I was, but like, I don't know, it was nice. It was flattering that this guy knew who I was and was willing to feature me on video. But I don't know that it's happened, so I probably shouldn't, because I don't want to get people's hopes up. It's like, oh, like I don't want to do that and then it not happen. So I've talked several minutes now about something you'll probably never even see. That's how it goes. That's how it goes to me, folks. You gotta lower your expectations with me, or else I'll let you down every time. I feel like we need to change our baits out. I kind of want to leave that big sucker head on, but our shad probably needs to be switched out. We got that sucker head on. Let's put a shad body section. Throw that shad head out, put another body section on. Let's see. Let's get this one. We'll switch that bait. I want to leave that head down there though. I don't know if it's going to get eaten, but boy, if it does, we'll hang on and enjoy the ride. Seems like my better fish lately, though, maybe I'm imagining this, but it seems like my better fish have been coming on the shad body sections for the most part. I've just got so much confidence historically in head baits. I always want one out. If fish are really hitting head baits, I don't mind putting on 2 head baits. But if they're really focused in on the body sections, I still usually want to have a head bait on, just in case. All right. Throw that tail out, We'll put that head back in the cooler here. I do have enough bait left over here. We could fish the tournament with it. I just don't really have a desire to go. Who knows? I may get talked into it, though. Somebody will call and try to persuade me tonight, and you just never can tell, man. I may end up going down there. You never can tell. You just never know with me. Here comes another old bass fisherman. I do have, speaking of opportunities, talking about this collaboration opportunity, I've got another collaboration opportunity, but it's more doable. I've got a phone call scheduled for Monday with a kayak company, believe it or not. I had a kayak company reach out, which has been one of the most mind-boggling things about my whole YouTube experience. So, every video on my channel, well, not all. I've done some in boats, some off the bank, but like, 99% of my videos are in a kayak. And no matter how I'm filming in the kayak is front and center. Like right now, you're looking right at the kayak. Whatever kayak I'm in gets featured, gets a lot of time. Yet, kayak companies never reach out to me. I've had a ton of bicycle companies, a ton of other just random, I mean, my inbox, I get stuff every day. It's mostly crap I would never be interested in or want to use, but I mean, still, all kinds of opportunities, but not from kayak companies. The only company, I got 2 kayaks from Old Town a few years ago, but otherwise, kayak companies don't, and it's surprising, I just don't get any interest from them. And I don't reach out to them, like, I mean, I'm not going to go asking for handouts or anything, but I mean, I would certainly take a call from any kayak company that was maybe wanting to wheel and deal. But I finally, and by God, I got an email the other day, company wanting to reach out, and so I've got a phone call scheduling with their marketing person on Monday afternoon, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, I love this kayak I'm in here now. But I mean, if something new is coming out, and the way the email read, you kind of got to, I mean, the way the email read, it was kind of, you got to read between the tea leaves a little bit. But it kind of made it sound like there's something new coming out. And so if I could get my hands on it ahead of time, or, you know, maybe get one anyway, I mean, I'd be interested in using it no matter what it is. I'll at least give it a shot. Even if it's not the right kayak for me and how I like to fish, I mean, we can still try it out, put it on video, give you my honest thoughts on it. Just because something may not be good for me doesn't necessarily mean it won't be good for other people. Like I talked about that when I got that Bonafide XTR kayak. I took it out twice, hated it. It just didn't suit my needs. It's too big, it's too stable. Like I want a kayak, not a boat. All of my kayak catfishing friends who have that kayak, though, they love it. It's perfect for what they do, pulling planer boards and carrying 10 rods and all that crap. Like how they fish, it's perfect for them. So like I can put a kayak on video, fish out of it, and give you my honest feedback from my experience with it. And regardless of whether it's good for me or not, like I can tell you if it's what kind of situation. I mean, I've got enough experience doing this. I can tell you what it's going to be good for and who it's going to be good for and what type of situations and stuff. And then you can make your decision from there of whether or not it's going to be a good fit for you or not. So you would think with as many views as I get, I mean, and these companies, I mean, let's do the math on this, okay? A new kayak today, a high-end kayak, is going to run you $3,000 to $4,000 retail price. So the manufacturers, the kayak company itself, how much money do they have in that kayak that has a retail price of $3,000 to $4,000? Probably what, $1,000? I mean, I would assume there's a pretty big markup. I don't know the exact numbers. I don't have any sources. I don't have any inside information on what their markup is, but I would assume it's probably a pretty significant markup. But let's just say for the sake of this conversation here, let's say a kayak company that's retailing a kayak for $3,000 to $4,000, let's say they've got $1,000 in cost, their cost in that product. And then if they were to send me that kayak, they're going to have some shipping fees. So let's say another $200 or $300 in shipping. Might be more than that. If me or you tried to ship a kayak, it would be a lot more than that. But with them doing the volume of business that they're doing, they're probably getting a better rate with the shipping companies. But let's say they've got a total of $1,500 out of pocket to get me a kayak, a high-end kayak that they've sent to me. They're out $1,500. Well, first off, the number of views I get on these videos and the demographic who would be the prime candidate to buy their products, if they just bought, if they went to YouTube and if they filmed a commercial, went to YouTube and said, we want to feature our commercial on kayak fishing channels, they would spend easily $1,500 to get in front of the number of people that I get in front of just on a regular video basis. So from a marketing standpoint, like the money they would spend in marketing expense versus sending me a kayak, it would be a wash. And then, like, how many people are going to buy a kayak that they see on my video? Well, I mean, not everybody, of course. That whatever kayak I'm in, it's not going to be like this kayak here I'm in. I know for a fact I've had several people buy Hobie Lynxes. The fella, one of my channel members, and he's on my video from where I went to Florida last year. I had mentioned on my channel members, anybody wanted to fish with me while I was down there, hit me up. Well, he hit me up. He showed up in a Hobie Lynx. He bought it because he saw me fishing with it on video. And he loved it, and he was having a great experience with it. But, like, there's going to be a few people, no matter what I'm in. I've sold a bunch of Hobie Pro Anglers, Old Town Big Waters. Like, there's been people I've met that they said they've bought that kayak because they saw me using it on video. So it may not be a ton of sales, but, like, it's not going to be zero. Well, if the markup, and we don't know, we have no idea how much that markup is, but let's assume that it's a pretty significant markup. If they sell one kayak or two kayaks, then they're getting a return on their investment with me. If they've got $1,500 in expense between the materials to make the kayak and then the shipping fees to get it to me, they're getting their product featured in front of thousands of people on my channel, which they would pay out the ass for if they bought commercial time on YouTube. And they're going to get some sales from it. So, like, they're going to turn a profit on their investment. And that's one thing I think a lot of people misunderstand. They'll say, well, you know, these YouTubers, these companies, they just send them stuff for free. Well, nothing's ever really free. No company gives me anything for free. They're not doing charity work here. They're giving me, if a company sends me a product, if an electric bike company, for instance, they send me an electric bike, it ain't free. That bike is free to me to take, but I'm going to have to put it on video. I'm going to have to film with it, and that is going to take away from my channel, and it's going to, you know, they're getting that exposure, those sales from the bikes, and just the exposure to their bike and their brand on my channel that they would pay a lot of money for if they went that route, just buying social media ads. So, like, there's, you know, it's a tit for tat type thing. But you would think that more kayak companies would reach out to me just from the volume of views, but it just don't happen. It just don't. So I was surprised when I got that email the other day, and I'm not going to say which company it is right now because I got too many people that don't like me. I want to see what they've got to say and see if we can work out a deal and all that. And then once I get the kayak, I'll drop that information because I know how some of yous are. You would try to ruin it. I've had, gosh almighty, I've had so many emails sent to Catfish Sumo to try to get them to fire me. I mean, it's crazy to me that people would be so triggered by something I say or do in a video that they chose to watch. This ain't Guantanamo Bay. Like, they chose to click on the video, they chose to watch it, and they chose how they react to it. Like, they don't have to get all pissed off because some random YouTuber they don't even know says something they find offensive on video. I mean, I don't even think I'm all that offensive, honestly, but people have been very offended by some stuff I say, and they will then call. Sometimes they've called, sometimes they've emailed Catfish Sumo because they know I've worked with them, and they will try to get me fired. I mean, I kid you not, it's happened multiple times. So in this situation, I'm not going to say what kayak company has reached out to me, because if I do, then undoubtedly my haters somebody will call or email to try to mess up that deal before it happens, if it does happen even. So you all will find out more when I've got something in place, if something does in fact happen with it. Who knows? I don't know what it is they're looking for, what they would want. If it's the type of thing where I have to be exclusive to that particular company or that particular model of kayak, then it's an automatic no, because I really like what I'm in. I really enjoy this. Like, this kayak suits my needs so much for just having fun, the most amount of fun possible. But I'm willing to try other things. I'm certainly willing to. I'm open-minded enough. I'm willing to try. But I don't want to be locked into an exclusive type thing. So if that's what they're looking for, it's an automatic no. But I'll take the call. I'll take the call, and hopefully it'll work out. I need 2 kayaks at all times anyway, in case we have a problem like we had with this one recently, where I had holes in it, had to be patched up. So I've still got my Hobie Pro Angler. I sold the Native Slayer. I sold my Old Town Big Water a few months ago, but I've still got my Hobie Pro Angler. But if this is a new kayak coming out, which it sounds like it's going to be, I could replace my Hobie Pro Angler with it, and still have 2, and still use it a fair amount on video, even if it wasn't exactly what I wanted or whatever. I'd still use it at times. Oh, those are the guys right there. Those are the ones, those white power poles in the back of their boats, I recognize it. Those are the ones that was tying up the ramp this morning. They had literally power poled down right in front of the damn boat ramp, and the other boat couldn't back in. Those are the same guys. I think that's the first time I've seen them power poles get used, though, by anybody. All these bass boats have them. Nobody actually uses them. Yeah, folks, I'm not even lying to you, man. Catfish Sumo has gotten a lot of negative. And the funny thing is sometimes they'll get emails, and it'll be like, I'm a loyal customer. I've bought so much stuff, but I'm never buying from you again. As long as Justin's working with you, like, I will never buy another Catfish Sumo product. And Daniel will look up, if they've put their name on the email or whatever, Daniel will look them up in their customer database. And most of the time they've either never bought anything, or maybe they've spent $20 on some hooks or something. Like, it's not loyal customers that they're losing. It's just people that's pissed off at me for some weird reason. I mean, I think it's weird. Like, listen, there's YouTubers and social media influencers that I don't like, whether it be I don't like their videos or their personality, or some of them I've met in person and I don't like them. But, like, you know what I do with people I don't like, or a video I don't like? I don't watch. Or if I'm currently watching something and something about it I don't like, I click off of it and I go about my day. I don't let it ruin my whole damn day and then go and try to find out who they're working with and send them emails. Like, that's psycho. That's honestly, it's kind of psycho. It's weird, but it happens all the time. Or they'll message Catfish Sumo leave a voicemail on their customer thing after hours there or whatever, or send an email where they've got some other complaint about me, you know, not trying to get me fired necessarily, but just like one of them messaged me, or messaged Catfish Sumo. Gosh, it was a week or two ago, maybe. It's been fairly recent. And he wanted Catfish Sumo to let me know that he was unsubscribing from my channel because of my channel memberships. He wasn't a channel member, but he's sick of me and every other YouTuber who offers channel memberships. And so he's not watching me or any of them others anymore. And I'm like, don't let that door hit you in the ass on the way out, buddy. Like, this ain't an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Just don't watch anymore. I don't give a damn. Like, I'm not going to cancel my channel memberships. Like, my channel memberships, honestly, and I've told my channel members this, they get gypped. They pay $10 a month, which helps support me and my channel, and they get basically crap in return. They get two things. I do some extra videos for the channel members, which most of the time aren't even on the water. It's, ooh, look at this right fast. Look at all this working through. Right there under us. I don't know what that is, but it might be a school of bait, but that's something. But them channel members, man, they don't get really anything. I do extra videos like around my house. Might be showing off my garden, or I fixed my kayak here recently on one of them. Like little stuff like that. So they get that, but it's not like regular viewers. Like, if you don't see, even the regular viewers that like watch all of my videos, the 3 of you out there that do, like, you're not missing out on anything if you don't see the channel members videos. It's just kind of behind the scenes stuff, really, most of the time. The other thing, though, that channel members get that nobody else does is, like, I don't have comments on this channel, right? Like, I don't have, if you click down at the bottom of this video right now, there's no comment box there. That's gone. But channel members still have access. So, like, they have access to me. They comment, I'm able to respond. And if I'm going somewhere on a trip or something, I'll usually announce where I'm going to be. That way, if, you know, a meetup is possible, because, you know, those people, I've interacted with a lot of them so much, I almost feel like I know them. Even though I don't know them, I feel like I do. So it's usually not as awkward. Even though I'm a socially awkward person, it's not nearly as uncomfortable when I meet a channel member, because I've already interacted with them and I feel like I know them a little bit. So I don't feel like I'm meeting a complete stranger. So I'll normally announce if I'm going somewhere where I'm going to be so they can come out. So, but that's really it. They don't really get much otherwise. But I've had a few people now. This is the first one that's reached out to Catfish Sumo to tell me, basically, make an ultimatum if I don't turn the channel memberships off. You know, it's like, yeah, let me just do that just because you're upset about it, buddy. Like, I mean, come on, it's so stupid. But I've had a few other people complain about it and stuff, and I'm like, I don't get what the problem is. Like, I don't get it. It's not like all of my content is behind a paywall. I mean, it's 2 or 3 videos a month extra I do that aren't even real fishing videos most of the time. Like, it's not a big loss. Like, for the people that do, and I've had some channel members have been with me for years. Like, I'm hoping they get something out of it. But the people that, many of you right now that are watching this video that aren't channel members, like, I don't feel like you're missing out on anything. But just the fact that I offer it, man, it pisses some people off. And, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It's one of them sacrifices I'm willing to make. If I lose people like him, it ain't a big loss. Like, I knew when I turned those comments off, I guess it's been a year and a half or so ago, I turned the comments off. I took Luke Nichols' advice. You know, Luke Nichols, Catfish and Carp channel for a long time. Then he was the Outdoor Boys, and biggest YouTuber in the outdoors genre. One of the most successful one of the most successful YouTubers, period, but definitely in the outdoors genre. Like, he's a Mount Rushmore type person to me. And I'd watched his podcast interview there, and he had talked about, he had comments and they got turned off by YouTube when the whole Child Protective Act thing come along. Anybody with kids in their videos got their comments turned off. And then they got turned back on, and he was like, man, YouTube was so much better when I didn't have comments. So he manually turned them back off. Didn't hurt his channel, didn't hurt his views, and made his life so much better. And when I had started my second channel a few years ago, right from the get-go, I turned off comments. And my second channel grew and done well, and no issues without having comments. So I got to a point I was like, man, it's just such a vile place. It takes up so much time. There's all times scams running in there, and people making profiles that look like me to try to tell people they've won something to get money out of them. Like, it's such a liability, and it's such a pain in the ass. So I was like, I'm going to turn it off. And I knew turning it off, like, I knew it wouldn't hurt my videos as far as like getting pushed and getting like YouTube putting my videos in front of people. Like, I knew it wasn't going to hurt that, but I thought it might hurt my regular viewership, like people who watch regularly that I was interacting in the comment box with. Like, there was a few people that, like, I had to say goodbye to. And I mean, and that's how it goes. Like, when you make a change, I don't care if it's YouTube or anything in life, you change jobs, you change relationships, whatever. Like, if you make a major change in any aspect of life, you're going to move toward some people and move away from some others. And when I cut the comments off, I moved away from some of my regular viewers that I was interacting with. And I got some feedback afterwards, like some people just quit watching me after that because they couldn't interact with me anymore. Or you know, and it's unfortunate. I hate that it had to be that way, but I don't miss the comment box. I don't miss it. I have no desire to ever do it again. But I'm saying all this because, like, when I made that decision, I knew it was a small, I mean, there's only, and you can do the math on this yourself. You can look at pick any YouTuber, pick any YouTube video you watch today. Look at the view count on that video, all its public information, and then look at the comments. See the number of comments on that video. Most YouTube videos are going to be 5% or less of the viewers are going to comment. In my case, it was usually 1 to 2% of the audience would comment. But on any video, it's going to be 5% or less. So I was like, let's say I lose a small percentage of people who are commenting, and then maybe I lose a few more that maybe people who don't comment but just enjoy watching videos that have a comment box. They just like to peruse the comments. I done the math on it, and I'm like, how big a pay cut, like how big a view drop am I willing to take? How much of a loss financially and on views am I willing to take to not deal with the comment box anymore? And the number I settled on was 25%. I hated the comment box that bad that I was like, I'll take a 25% pay cut to never deal with this bullshit again. And much to my surprise, I didn't end up taking a pay cut at all, because what happened was, yes, I lost some viewers, certainly. Some of them told me they left, because of the comment box being cut off. But my channel memberships, again, these people pay $10 a month, I doubled instantly. A lot of the people who I had been interacting with, they became channel members to keep that up and support me. So, like, I not only didn't take a pay cut, but I got a raise. So when I have these people, like this guy reaching out to Catfish Sumo all pissed off over my channel memberships, I'm like, hell no, I'm not changing for you. I'm not going to conform. I mean, people like that, the type of person that's going to reach out to a business, not me directly, they're going to reach out to a business I'm affiliated with to complain, like that's the exact type of people that I don't want to interact with. That's what the comment box in my Instagram message box, like that's what that's full of. And that's the people I don't have any desire to deal with. So you think I'm going to conform to people like that? Hell no. I'd just assume get less views. Like I said, I was willing to take a 25% pay cut. Like if it had dropped more than 25%, maybe I would have turned them back on just to see if it would make it. But like, no, those comments, and I'm at a point now where it's like, if my channel died tomorrow, I'm cool. Like I can walk away a winner. I'm good. I hope it don't. I mean, I hope it don't. I hope we keep this thing rolling for a while. But I'm at a point where like, if it was to end for whatever reason, I can walk away. I'm good. So the comment box ain't never coming back, except for my channel members. And I don't mind interacting with them in the comment box because they're different. Like they're happy to be there. They're people who support me and the channel. So it's a different experience for me versus just people with anonymous screen names, attacking my dead dog or attacking my wife or my parents or, anything to just be nasty and vile. I'm like, why? And a lot of people, I mean, that was a small percentage of people that would do that, but like you can't go in the comment box and interact with the people that you like without having to wade through all of the others. And I'm like, why am I exposing myself to all this? Why? It ain't worthwhile. It doesn't do anything for my channel. It doesn't do anything for the business. And even from the personal enjoyment part of it, of interacting with the people who were nice in the comment box that I had become friends with through the years. It just felt like I knew them because I'd interacted with them so much. Like I couldn't even enjoy interacting with those people because of all of the others. So like there was no benefit whatsoever. None. Not on a personal level, not on a financial level, not on just getting more views, because the comment box means nothing for views. YouTube doesn't value it at all. They did a long time ago. But then people started manipulating it and getting bots to comment artificially for them, or they would do stuff in the video like giveaways and crap like that to try to boost the comments. And so YouTube changed it to where those comments don't mean anything now. They don't get your video pushed because you got 10 times the comments in this video that you had on your average video. Like it means nothing. So there is no advantage to the comment box at all. And that's exactly what Luke Nichols of Outdoor Boys there, that's what he was saying on that podcast. He's like, he said if that's the one piece of advice he could give to new channels starting out, turn the comments off right from the get-go. And I wish I had never turned them on to begin with, honestly. I wish I had never went down that road, because then I wouldn't have been able to piss people off, when I turned them off, if I'd never turned them on to begin with. So that's my spiel on that. But yeah, it ended up working out well in the end. Boosted my channel membership. My channel memberships have been at an all-time high lately. I've never had as many as what I have now, so it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing. I wish YouTube would give me their information. Like I would offer something if I could for the channel memberships, but I don't even have their real names. Like all I see is a screen name. Like I can click on my channel membership tab and I can scroll through and see their screen name and how long they've been a member for. That's it. I don't have their real name. I don't have their address. So I can't be like, well, if you've been a member for this long, I'm going to send you this. Or if you've been a member for 6 months, you get this. Like I can't, because I can't get that information. YouTube doesn't give me any of that. So the only thing I can offer is what YouTube allows me to offer, which ain't much. Extra members videos. If I had comments on, they would get a little emoji next to their name. If I done live streams, which I give that up too, I don't have a desire to do that anymore. They would have a little thing next to their name down there in the chat box. But there's just not really much I can offer channel members. So it's pretty much just people who really support me, really enjoy my videos and support me and want to try to ensure that I'm able to keep doing this, you know, on a full-time basis. And I'm grateful for every one of them, too. I mean, I'm always thankful for them. But I wish I could offer more. And I could do, like, I know some people do, instead of YouTube channel memberships, they'll do like Patreon thing. And I think Patreon takes a lesser cut than YouTube does. But it's still the only thing you can offer on there is videos. Like, I don't even think with Patreon, I don't think you get their real information, like name or address or anything. And I can't even unsubscribe. Like, I had somebody, I guess it's been a year or two ago now. One of my channel members died, and one of their kinfolk that was handling their affairs there after they had passed emailed me, and they didn't have their loved one's Google password, and so they weren't able to turn off the channel membership. So it was like getting deducted out of their bank account, which they were shutting down. And they had reached out to ask if I could shut that off on my end. And unfortunately, I couldn't. I looked into it. I tried to reach out to the YouTube support thing there on my... when I get onto YouTube Studio, like to upload a video, there's a thing in the corner. It's a little chat box. I don't think it's a real person. I think it's like a AI generated response type thing. I don't know how you get in touch with a real person at YouTube. It's crazy that you can't. But anyway, I got on there to try to figure out how I could do that, but it wasn't possible. I couldn't cancel his membership. So I responded back to, the only way I knew that maybe he could do it without the guy's Google password was to do a stop payment on his credit card or debit card, whatever he had it coming out on. So that's, you know, that's one of those things. It's, you know, it would be nice if I had that option to remove people. No, I wouldn't. I guess YouTube never made it an option because, I mean, you would never have another reason to remove a paying channel member otherwise, other than if they died. So I had another channel member that had died too, and they had reached out to me to let me know that he had passed away. And this was after the other guy had reached out about his loved one that had died and was having trouble with getting the YouTube password or whatever. So when this person's family reached out to me, and you know, they were really nice. They'd just let me know he had passed away, and he was big. I mean, he was a big fan of my channel. Like, he commented back when I had comments on my regular videos. He commented every single one. Like, he was one of the first people to click on the video when it would post. He would comment, and then he was a channel member, and he had t-shirts and the hats. I mean, like, he was a big supporter of my channel. And he was another person I felt like I'd gotten to know a little bit just through interacting with him and whatnot. And you know, it was sad when he passed. I knew he had had some health problems because he would tell me everything. Like, I mean, that's why I felt like I really knew him, because, like, I mean, he would share, he would write paragraphs down in the comment box, let me know everything going on in his life and whatnot. So I knew he had been having some health problems. And so I was, you know, I was disappointed to hear when he had passed. And so I sent, I reached out to Catfish Sumo because I knew he had bought stuff through them. And I asked them to give me his address, which, you know, normally they would not do that kind of thing. Like, that kind of information's private. But in this situation, because you know, I knew, you know, obviously know the owner of Catfish Sumo, but he knew I was being sincere and that this guy was a big fan of my channel, and he was able to pull up the orders too and see, like, yeah, he's bought stickers, he's bought hats, he's bought rods. Like, I mean, he's bought all my stuff. But I was able to get his address, and so I sent the family a card, and I put a little note in there too, just to let them know to cancel the membership on their end, because I couldn't do it on mine. I didn't want them to keep getting charged over and over again for it. So I guess they were able to take care of that, because his name had popped off shortly thereafter. So I guess they had access to his account, or was able to, like, do a stop payment or whatever. But yeah, you know, it's one of them things, man. It's like you never know what people are really going through. Like, in this particular case, and his name, for those of you that used to be in my comment box back when I had, his name was Andy Bass. And again, some of y'all probably maybe remember him, because I mean, he would comment he would be one of the first people to comment too. Like, as soon as a video would post, he must have had notifications turned on. Like, he would watch it instantly. But he just really, for whatever reason, man, he clicked with me. Like, something about either my videos or my personality or something, like there was just something that he enjoyed about me, and he watched everything, man. And he was, I legitimately think he watched every single video I'd ever put out. And because I just interacted with him so much, and because he was so in depth with his comments when he write paragraphs and such, like, I legitimately felt like I knew him. You know, I mean, I never met him in person, but there was so much back and forth interaction, like almost like pen pals back in the day. I felt like I got to know him. And so, I mean, I hated to hear he had passed. But you just never know, like people like him. I mean, he had been having health problems for a while. And I think for him, my videos like this, where the camera's just rolling continuously, like, it was a chance for him to be able to go fishing every day, even if he didn't feel like, you know, maybe his body didn't feel like actually getting out and going fishing. Or maybe he's in the hospital. I mean, he was in and out of the hospital a few times there. And again, I'm not sharing I mean, it's not my information to share, but like, he had posted it publicly. Oftentimes he would leave a comment and let me know that he was in the hospital. He's watching my video from the hospital or whatever type thing. So I'm not sharing information that he didn't already put out there publicly, is what I'm getting at. But like, in that situation, you know, he's laid up in the hospital and he couldn't go fishing. But for him, like, watching the video was like being there, you know, as close to being there as what he could be in his situation. And I've heard that from some other people too in the past. And I met a guy at a conference a few years ago, really nice guy. He brought me some chocolates, and he had told me he didn't even care about fishing, but he had been in the hospital and was in there an extended stay, and stumbled upon my videos and just connected. And like I said, he didn't go fishing. He wasn't into fishing, but he was into fishing with me through the videos. And so when I'd gone to that conference a few years ago, and it was up near close to where he lived, he had followed me on social media after that and seen I was going to be there. And so he came to that conference and brought me them chocolates and told me, and you know, it kind of it kind of touched me because, you know, he talked about how, like, he talked like I had made a difference in his life. You know, when he was laid up in the hospital there and recovering, like watching my video, these long videos, would give him through the day, like give him something to do, something to look forward to, and stuff. And you know, that was kind of it was one of the things for me. It's like you never really know how you're affecting people, good or bad. I mean, we talked about earlier how weirdos out there get triggered by something I say and go to great lengths to try to you know, damage my business, like trying to get me fired or something at Catfish Sumo. But then there's other people too, like this guy, that's like, you've made a positive difference in their life by just, in a roundabout way, just being a friend through, even though prior to that, we'd never met, just him watching me on the video and kind of connecting with me, identifying with me, and getting to know me through these videos, that I became kind of a friend to him without me even knowing him. I was kind of a friend to him, and it gave him something to do and something to look forward to while he was going through a very difficult time in his life. And, you know, that kind of thing, it's meaningful to me because, it gives me a, it's humbling, I guess. It's a grounding experience to hear something like that. Because, it's easy to focus on the negative. Like when you get blasted and people's complaining, like it's easy to key in on that, but it's harder to focus on the positive sometimes. So when you hear situations like that, it's always nice. And people like that guy, it's more impactful to me than what I was to him, truth be told. But you just never know what people's going through, and it's crazy to think, like, I worked my regular job before all this YouTube crap took off with. I've told you all this before, but I was a registered nurse, and I worked ER in my career. And throughout my career working as a nurse in the ER, I was a part of a team that saved a lot of lives. Like done some legit good in the world. Somebody comes in and they're sick or injured, and I'm not giving myself necessarily individually any credit for the work I've done as a nurse, but just being a part of the team there of doctors, nurses, techs, respiratory therapists, etc. Being a part of that team, like you're actually doing something for the individual while they're in a time of crisis. And yet, I've had more people, and I guess because in the ER, you're getting people at their worst, like in their true time of crisis. And then they're there a short time, and then they either move on to ICU or regular general med floor, whatever, and that's where they spend the rest of their stay. So if there's thank you cards or family doing something for the medical staff, it's going to be done wherever their stay is at, not for the ER. Like the ER is kind of a thankless job. Like you're going to get cussed out every day in the ER, but you're rarely ever going to get a thank you. Or, a car. There was probably, in my whole career, maybe, I could probably count on one hand how many times we would get a thank you card, like, thanks for saving my mom or dad or something like that would come in. I'm sure the ICU and the general med floor, I'm sure they got that kind of stuff all the time, but the ER, you just don't get it. You don't get that. And so that's why when YouTube kind of started to take off for me, and I would get people from time to time talking, I would meet them out somewhere, or I'd get an email or a comment or something, and they would talk about how I had impacted their life in some way, not just fishing, but like impacted their life. And I remember, and it's been a few years ago now, I'd got an email from a guy, and he had said that he was a soldier, or he'd been a soldier, and he had real bad PTSD. And he had been contemplating suicide for a while, kind of been struggling with that and some depression and just the other stuff he was dealing with from his time when he was in the service. And he said he one day he stumbled across my videos, and it just resonated with him. He said, "That looks fun. I'm going to try that." And he got a kayak, and he started fishing. And that became his outlet, kind of his it's like his chance to get away and kind of leave all his thoughts and all that. And in his email, like, he's giving me all of this credit for saving his life. And I'm like, I didn't do a damn thing. Like, I'm just some dumbass out here in a kayak trying to catch fish, even though we ain't caught one now in forever. I think our bite's over. But like, I didn't do anything. But this guy's talking like I've saved his life. Whereas, y'all holler at them geese, tell them shut up. They're gonna go right over there and honk. But like, I've actually been a part of some teams that have truly saved people's lives. When I was working as a nurse, like, we've truly saved lives. And you get no thank you, no acknowledgement whatsoever. And yet I put out stupid ass fishing videos, and I've got this guy emailing me talking about how I've impacted him in such a way that I saved his life. I saved him from committing suicide. And it was just mind blowing to me that I could have any kind of impact at all, let alone such a profound impact through a fishing video. But that's just one of those things I've come to learn over the last few years. It's like, you don't know what people are going through out there, and just something as simple as being able to take somebody fishing through a video format like we're doing today, it could mean the world to somebody. Like, there could be another guy like that one that was in the hospital, don't even care anything about fishing, but it's just something for him to do. It's something for him to look forward to, and it's an interaction in a roundabout way. It's an interaction. Like that guy in particular, like, he had told me when I was talking to him, he brought me them chocolates and talked to him for a few minutes, and he was talking about how, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but he was like, man, the thing they don't tell you about getting old is how lonely it is. He's, my wife had died, and his kids have, they're grown and outliving their lives and stuff. And he's like, most times it's just me in a house by myself. It's just lonely. And of course, when he was in the hospital, he was there by himself. And the videos gave him something to do. It's something to look forward to and some interaction. And it's one of those things that's just amazing to me. Like, I would have never, when I started doing YouTube, I would have never in a million years ever imagined that I could have any kind of impact like that. And so it's, and that's one of the rewarding things about doing this, is when you find out stuff like that or hear stuff like that. It's like, when I became a nurse, and I didn't, a lot of people grow up, a lot of the people I went to nursing school with, a lot of people I worked with, you have the conversation, you're like, well, what made you want to be a nurse? I'm like, well, I just always wanted to help people. Ever since I was a small child, I just felt compassion for people, and I just wanted to help them. Well, that was never my story, folks. That wasn't my story at all. I was spinning my wheels in college, didn't have a clue what I wanted to do in life, and kind of just had to make a decision. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I'm like, well, if I don't know what I want to do, why am I here? And I couldn't really quit school because at that point in time, back in those days, what a lie that was. But like they'd tell you, well, if you don't have a college degree, you're never going to get a good job and you're never going to make any real money in life. And total lies, to sell you on student loans. But anyway, at the time, that was the culture, and that's what I thought. I was like, I got to do something. I got to pick a career. And I was like, well, what's the most amount of money for the least amount of education? And I come up with nursing. I'm like, well, I can get a 2-year degree, an associate's degree, and make a damn nice living and work anywhere in the country and always ensure that I have a job. Like, I'll just go be a nurse. So I did. And so I was never one of those people that was like, I'm going to save the world, but it was always nice feeling when you could have a positive impact on somebody's life. And you saw it a lot in the ER. I mean, people come in and they're, legitimately sick or injured and, going through a real crisis in life, something oftentimes unexpected, or just the worst day of their life, and you could have a positive impact on that like that. There were some rewarding aspects of that. But I would have never in a million years thought I would get that through YouTube. And it's been pretty amazing. It's been a pretty amazing thing. It's one of the real positives that has come out of this. And again, it's always humbling. It's always grounding to me when I hear that from someone, because it's just I guess because I try not to take it for granted, but I do. I think it's just human nature. We all take our health for granted. We don't appreciate how good it is to feel good and have energy and be able to do what we want until it's taken away from us. And so when I was working in the ER and I was seeing people all the time, it kind of automatically kept you going, like, boy, that could be me at any time. And then you get away from that, you can kind of start to take it for granted, and then you get a message occasionally or an email or meet somebody out, and I don't know, it's just probably means more to me than it does to them, truth be told. But if I can have an impact on somebody's life, I hope it's positive. I hope it's not like the people I make some comment and it ruins their whole day, and they got to email Catfish Sumo trying to get me fired. There's some weirdos out there, man. There's some really good people. Most people are good. Most people are normal, mentally functioning human beings, but boy, there's some real weirdos too. I mean, some solid weirdos. We got a weirdo in my town. He got arrested. I saw the social media post about it. I didn't even realize this guy was real. So I follow some of my local politicians. Like, I don't give a damn about national politics. I don't care who the president is, vice president, congressman. I don't care. I mean, we're getting hit at the gas pumps right now, but that's the only effect that the national level politicians are going to do. It's the local politicians that hit you in the wallet. They're the ones that's going to raise your property taxes, raise your sales tax, make zoning changes, allow all the apartments and the subdivisions to build in your backyard. Like, they're the ones that screw you. So I keep a close watch on my local politicians. And I guess because I follow them, occasionally when I'm on social media, there'll be another post pop up from random people that are talking about the local politics and stuff. And so I had been seeing this guy's posts occasionally pop up in my feed. I didn't follow him, but I would see his post pop up. And I thought it was a parody. Like, we've got one of our county commissioners in my county. He's very anti-development, and he gets and he posts all the time, so he gets a lot of ridicule. And I thought this guy was like a parody of him. Like, I thought it was just somebody poking fun you know, taking kind of his posts and rewording and things like that. Like, I thought it was just I didn't even think it was a real person. Like, I thought it was somebody just running the page under a fake name to make random stupid posts. Well, come to find out, hell no, this was a real person, and he was batshit crazy. And so he made some threat against the school and got arrested for it. And so I saw the social media post that talked about this guy making the threat and how they had arrested him, had his mugshot on there and all that. And I saw the name, and I'm like, oh, that's the guy. That's the post I've been seeing. That was a real person. And again, I mean, like, it wasn't a parody. No, he was just batshit crazy. Like, there is a percentage of the people out there that is just mentally cuckoo. And of course, I saw a lot of them when I worked ER. You'd see them, but like the people that was in the ER, like, those are the lower functioning crazies. Like, you know, they're the ones that end up in the ER and psych wards and stuff. There's another level of crazy that can function well enough that they should probably be in a psych ward and be getting some mental assistance, but they can function well enough that they don't. Like, those are the ones that are really dangerous. So, yeah, this guy was legit, and he got cuffed and stuffed Roscoe P. Coltrane style. I didn't see the post that he had made about the school, but I'd seen several others, and I just, like, dang. It only takes that one person. It only takes that one person to go too far with it. You know? There's just some weirdos, man. I've had some. Of course, it was more prevalent back when I had comments on. Now I've pretty much shut everything down. People can't message me through Facebook, my Facebook page anymore. I shut that down on my business page. Instagram, everything goes to a message request folder, which I never look at. YouTube comments are off. So it's hard for people to get in touch with me now. But like, I've had some real, I've had people threaten to burn. I had one guy threaten to burn down my house. I've had people look me up online and like find my address. I've had stuff show up in my mailbox that was dropped off there, like not go through the postal service, like legitimately just dropped off. Like, they came to my house and stuck it in my mailbox. Now in that situation, it was somebody who liked me, thankfully, but still, like, it's still weird, you know, like, it's still crossing some boundaries. Just because a person may like you don't mean they ain't crazy. Like, it's crossing lines. Back when my friend Holly ran a local bait shop, CNC Outdoors, they shut down. Well, I think the store might still be in business. The owner of the building sold the building, so they had to take the business out of there. But I think the new owners still have like a little bait shop in there, but and it may still be the same name even. I ain't been in there since they sold. But like, back when I was doing live streams and stuff, it was her boyfriend at the time, but they're married now, but Promines, Eric Romines, I'm friends with. He had been on some of my videos and stuff, and we had talked about her and the bait shop and this, that, and the other on my videos. And she got people stopping in there to give messages to me, and one of them had tried to get me. They had went to her to try to get a message to me to let me know I don't need to have Pro Moderator on my channel anymore. They didn't like him. They didn't want him on my channel anymore. I'm like, what? In what world is that okay? Like, yeah, I'm going to go to this person that you mentioned. I'm going to look them up because you mentioned them on video and get a message to them that I don't like this other person that's on your video. I'm like, it's so damn weird. Like, I mean, it's a small percentage of people. Again, that's weird, but like, it don't take many. It just takes one to kill you, you know, cut your throat or something, or actually burn your house down. So, it's weird, man. You know what else is weird is our bite's dead. Like, how long has it been since we caught a fish now? We had that one, about 45 minutes, an hour in, and we got a few bites there all around that time period, and now we've just been sitting here. That's the way it's been in the last few trips. You know, it's just the bite was earlier on some of those. We'd be getting bit around first light up until, I don't know, 8:30ish, 9 o'clock, and then it would kind of shut off. Today, it took a little longer to turn on, and maybe it's just because of where we're at. Maybe there's not as many fish here. I don't know, but it took a little later to turn on, and then, boy, it shut off quick though, didn't it? But it's still a good trip. I mean, it's been kind of dull here the last hour or two, but I mean, we ended up catching, what did we get, 4 fish or 5 fish today? At least so far. 4 or 5, and all of them great quality. So, I mean, it's a damn good trip as far as I'm concerned, but just all our bites came in that window, and I've had that happen a lot through the years when I'm, you know, and here's the thing, like if we were doing an edited video today, between the intro and baiting up and just the number of fish and the time, like it would probably end up being a 25, 30-minute video if we edited it down. And it would look like we just caught fish one after another all morning long out here. But in reality, oftentimes that happens where like all of your bites will come in a short time period and then nothing. And when you're doing these trips like this where the camera just keeps rolling, like you see it, like you can see those feeding windows happen. Some days it don't matter. Some days the bite will just be kind of, you'll catch a fish here, fish there all day long. But other times, like all your action will come in a short, sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 2 hours, like, but yeah, it's just how it is, man. But we were in the right place at the right time when they come through, and unfortunately we didn't, the one fish that ate the sucker, you all lost it. We ain't got that head to eat at all. But still, I'm going to go home happy here in a while. I am going to go home here in a little while. It's starting to, it was cool when we got out in the water. It's hot now. I got my bibs on I need to get out of. It's one of them days where you got to dress in layers because it's going to be a little too chilly not to have the bibs on this morning when it's like 49, 50 degrees, whatever. And then by the time we get to this point in the morning, it's hot. So I'm going to get out of here a little while. Me and my lucky nickel over here. Just thrown out right there at the boat ramp. Old Thomas Jefferson there. I'll take it, man. People want to throw their pocket change out at the ramp. I'll gladly pick it up and take it home with me. Stick it in the change drawer. You can't officially go broke if you got a nickel in your pocket. We'll give it a few more minutes here. Wrap this crap up. I think we'll get out of here, go grab a bite to eat. And then figure out what I'm 80% sure I'm not fishing the tournament tomorrow. 80%. But there is that 20% chance that I get talked into it. Or maybe a bunch of people sign up this evening that I'm not aware of, and it ends up being a big enough turnout to make it worthwhile. But I really want to go check out that creek that's just completely shut off. Like that. I don't know what all's in there. I mean, who knows? It may be, well, I mean, the crappie that I accidentally well, I can't say accidentally, I was trying to throw for them. I just didn't know what they were. But they were pretty big. And the bass I got was, he wasn't huge, but I mean, it was a pound or two that I pulled up in there. So, I mean, like, there's some fish in there that we're going to get. Like, we're not getting skunked on that trip. And I'm excited about doing it, but I could wait till Sunday to go. I don't have to do that tomorrow if I went to the tournament, but I want to get out there soon before our water comes up anymore, if it does come up anymore. They've been talking about on the news and stuff that we may just have low water this year, because we get, apparently, statistically speaking, most of our yearly rainfall comes in the winter and spring. And since our winter and spring was so dry, if we have a dry summer, they're not going to be able to raise our water up all the way. What kills me is when they tell us that we got to conserve electricity. You know what I mean? Like when it gets hot and they'll be like, well, there's a strain on because most of our electricity comes from the hydroelectric dams in my area. And when it gets real hot or something, or real cold in the winter, they'll tell us to adjust our thermostat, conserve energy. They can't keep up with the power consumption. And I'm like, okay, so our electrical grid can't keep up with the energy demands that we have currently, yet all of our stinking local politicians that are all crooks, they're all approving all these new apartment complexes and subdivisions and whatnot. And it's like, well, if the grid can't handle the houses and businesses that are currently on it, why are you approving these little back road lots, 300 unit apartment complexes? Like, because I know why they do it. It's because it's greed. Our local politicians, hell, most of them are the ones working the deals. You look at the property transfers. Hell, our city mayor, he's one of the most prominent real estate people in the city. His palms are greased so much by these damn real estate developers, I bet he can't even open his wallet to put the money in. They're so greasy. But that kind of thing just pisses me off, and we're going to be going through that this summer, I guarantee you, with our water level being this low and them not being able to generate as much at the dam. You watch and see, when it gets hot, when we hit July and August and it's 100 degrees, they're going to be telling us we got to adjust our thermostat or else the power's going to go out. It pisses me off. Damn crooks. I shouldn't let it piss me off. You know who I am when I let these politicians, the mayor and city council people, when I let them piss me off, you know what it is? It's a situation like people watching my videos and getting triggered and ruining their day. I'm the same way with these damn city councilmen. Prove these freaking, I ain't kidding you folks. There's a road, it's a back road I used to cut down to avoid some red lights. Used to, because you can't no more. This road, it's barely wide enough for one vehicle, let alone two. Like when you would meet another car coming the other direction, like you both have to slow down and kind of, get off the side of the road as best you can so you don't sideswipe each other. Like it's a very narrow road, but it was a little back road I could cut down and avoid some red lights during like peak times of the traffic, peak times of the day. Well, I can't cut down there anymore because they took this little road and it's not even that big a lot, and they put this huge apartment complex back there. And so now there's people coming in and out of this, and they didn't widen the road at all. Like you would think they would be forced to do some work on the road to make it more accommodating to all the vehicles that was going to be up and down on it. But no, they didn't. They just changed some zoning to allow that. And, the real estate developer, he goes in there and makes a zoning appeal, and it goes to the city council. And in this particular lot, one of the city council people owned that lot. So, of course, that's going to get approved because the other councilmen are going to approve that person's real estate deal and zoning change, because they're going to need that councilman to approve theirs at some point. And now you've got this huge apartment complex on this road that's barely wide enough for one vehicle, let alone two, and now you can't cut down that back road anymore, basically. Now you're forced to go on the main roads through all the damn red lights, which you get stuck at every day because of the volume of people that's now moved to my area. Pisses me off, man, but what can you do other than move? Me and the wife's been looking into moving. We looked at a house recently. Didn't really care for it, but we went, well, I like the location. I like the amount of land with it, but the actual house itself left a little bit to be desired, so we decided not on that one, but we may end up moving at some point. There was a time when I never thought I would move, but now I would say greater than, I mean, we're going to move to Florida at some point. That's when we hit our retirement days and our responsibilities here are done in Tennessee, we'll move to Florida. But I would have never thought I would have moved from where I'm at to another place in Tennessee before we eventually go to Florida. But I would say there's probably a greater than 50% chance at this point that I end up moving, just because my town is getting so overrun with people, you can't get anywhere. But y'all don't care about that. Y'all don't give a damn about that. I don't know why I'm telling you. I don't know why we're still sitting out here. What do you say, me and you, we go get some lunch? And by me and you, I mean basically just me picking up something on the way home. We've had a hell of a trip out here today, just twiddling thumbs for the most part, but I think it's 4 or 5 fish. I think it's 5. Boy, the ones we got were dang good, man. I mean, they were nice fish, good quality fish, especially in 18 feet of water, short line, light tackle rods. Our hooks, too early to tell, but the good thing about the hooks that we've tried out today, we didn't have any problems. We didn't bend them, we didn't break them, so that's good. I'll be using them here, these next few weeks, and you just see how they do holding up. I'll retie what I'm gonna do for our next catfishing trip. I'll retie our leaders, put some fresh leader light on, but use the same hooks. That way we can see, get these same 2 hooks here, see how they do with multiple fish. How long does it take for them to dull or bend a hook point, stuff like that. So anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up, folks. I think I'm gonna reel up and get out of here. I think our bite's done. Getting that point in the day here now, the sun's right overhead, and usually spring, summer months, I like being on the water at dawn, take advantage of that morning bite if there is one, and then usually once the sun gets up to this level, the bite usually peters out, and it's definitely been that case today. So anyhow, y'all, thanks for coming with me and listening to me ramble on this trip. I'll see you next time.